Testing. The stream's picking up some sort of sound. Okay, yeah. Okay. We're finally here after some technical issues with Rocket's poor microphone. We couldn't hear him in Discord, but could hear him in Roll20. Then it crashed, and then he couldn't hear anyone, and we can't hear him, etc., etc. But finally, we're here, and after even I had audio issues halfway through. So, a little bit of a catch-up. The group met at the university bridge and decided to head towards this hideout that they'd heard about. And once there, we did a little bit of searching, and Macra, I believe, beat the ranger in a survival check and managed to find the hideout that they were in. Not before Lantix, our poor little gnome wizard, nearly got consumed by a bear trap in the woods. But after breaking the chains and heading on in, you guys traversed this sewage water. Heading east from it, you found an ogre skeleton, and you guys mused that whatever was down here killed an ogre and nailed it to a wall. But as you burst through the door, Grildar was viciously assaulted by bandits. Just bandits hiding down here, just bog standard bandits. But they did get a couple of good few hits. That translates as I think they crit you twice. With crossbow bolts. You chased them off, gave them a little bit of a warning, and then you followed them to, well, the place you came here to go. You found the location of Haroth and Omar the Swift, and after Chester ever so cleverly persuaded them to open the door with a signed mugshot of his face, you burst in and managed to defeat Haroth, and Chester put Omar to sleep with a well-placed sleep spell. Or bedtime story spell, whatever he wants to call it. You discussed some options. Omar said he was willing to pay you to just leave them alone and let them go. You can have the satchel full of drugs. Just take it, he says. And as long as you don't hurt her off, he said, don't hurt Horn on her head, please. But then Grildar argued, you're going to give me a finger. I'm going to take a finger. And this argument went on for about 20 minutes because Macra just didn't understand. Why have we got to take a finger? And as Grildar pointed out, we want some evidence. If we're to go to Lady Obsidian, at any point, we want evidence that we at least tried. Meanwhile, Lantix pocketed the contraption on Haroth's arm, and the rest of you pocketed some gemstones and some treasure. Mm-hmm. And Omar says he'll take you to where his buried treasure is in the city. It was down near the Bay of Spears in Macra's neck of the woods. And he just needed your help to get there. And that's when Macra put Haroth over his shoulder, and you guys decided you were going to leave.
Yep. And
so
get him to lead us to the treasure.
Alright, so he does lead you through the sewers, up north for us, back to the circular chamber where the stairs were. Well, the ladder, and then the stairs.
Yep.
And once you're at the top and in the woods, it's still morning. You've only been down here for less than an hour. And, well, it's just over an hour, I believe. And once you're outside in the shade of the woods, Omar looks at you and goes, friend, why? This isn't going to work. He points towards you've got Haroth over your shoulders, and he goes, that is going to be very suspicious, friend, carrying my lady through the city.
Right. Who's got a bag?
Wait, no, you're not putting her in a bag.
Oh, just a head.
He points at you with his stump.
Just a head. I'll cover her mostly up, won't it?
That will look mighty suspicious, don't you think? Look, me and her are wanted people.
By whom?
Well, Lady Obsidian and the law. You say that my friend Lushka is in the House of Answers. We stole them. Look, people are after us. The deal here is I show you my treasure, you let us go. Right? So you need to get me there first.
Well, seeing as how you object to our plan so much, what do you have in mind?
Bring a carriage up here and I'll jump in the back. I don't know.
Carriage couldn't work then.
I can make it through the city on my own, but me and her can make it through the city on our own. But if you're carrying her on your shoulder, it's going to attract unwanted attention.
Alright then. Chester, do you reckon you can manage to get a carriage here? That's something in your wheelhouse.
Everything's in my wheelhouse.
You've got to be useful for something. Go on.
Let me away. I shall return shortly.
Okay, so Chester, you head out of the woods, I'm assuming, into... I will put you towards the city map.
Yep.
I'm assuming you're heading towards... Hekar, the town, yeah?
Yeah, somewhere close.
Okay, so you head into Hekar, and like I said, it's like early morning you arrived. It's now mid-morning. Children going about their business, playing with stick swords, and there are a few carriages going by, and you're right near what seems to be some sort of school, and there are a bunch of like gladiatorial training going on, like mock fights, and you can hear the clack, clack, clack of wooden swords against wooden shields.
I was thinking, wow, how nice, Liam made a new map. And then I realized I still have the map of Europe webpage open from earlier.
You there! You appear to be holding your sword wrong.
What do you mean? And the kid just looks at you awkwardly.
Grip it like this. If this were a real bout, he would have taken your head moments ago.
Okay, and as you say that, a teacher arrives and just stares at you, and he's a pencil-thin man, very dark caramel-coloured skin, and his ears are slightly pointed, given heritage of a half-elf. He goes, "Away with you."
Away with me?
Who are you?
Aha! Good question. Perhaps you've heard of me.
Roll
Chester
deception.
Decker.
Roll deception.
I should just have a macro set up, really,
Yeah,
shouldn't
you
I?
really should.
Should just be called bullshit.
And this is where Chester Decker
Okay,
gets
he
locked
goes-
Oh,
up.
for fuck's sake.
He goes, oh, sorry, Chester. Actually, I've heard of you.
Ah,
I believe you're that guy who plays the quill flute, aren't you?
not to worry, fine man. That is I. I was merely imparting some of my wisdom upon your young student.
Oh, no problem. What are you doing here? Did you just come out of the woods?
That I did. I am a firm friend of woodland creatures, me. Perhaps you could point me in the direction of a carriage.
Oh, one moment, and he points towards one coming right now, and he clicks his fingers, and the slave rides over on a double horse chariot with quite a wide carriage. And as he clicks his finger, the slave kind of leans out the window, and the slave is in like a white turban, no clothes except for the undergarments. "Yes, sir?" And he says, "Carriage from my friend here, please." And he goes, "Of course. I'll turn around." And the double horses kind of like ride off down the road, turn, and come back towards you, Chester.
I'll get ready and I'll look back at the boy that I just spoke to and I'll ruffle his hair. You see, boy? That's what fame gets you. Keep working hard and you can end up just like me. Ha ha! And I'll wait for the carriage.
Sir. Yeah, and when the carriage comes along, I'm assuming the rest of you are on like the woodlands edge.
Yeah, we'll sit deep in the woodland so we don't get spotted by him, and we'll wait for him to actually come and tell us that he's got a carriage. And then we'll hustle to get him in the back of it.
Yeah, and as the carriage arrives, that face of the carriage, that edifice, protects from view, and as you rush forward, Omar goes, "Go, go, go," and opens the door, and all of you jump in. When Makra gets in, Makra, can you make a wisdom saving throw?
No.
Immediately, you begin to tremble as you look out the front of the carriage and you see two horses, and you look down. Okay, so what this does is you're technically frightened of the horses. So, if any encounter happens around here or on the way, you're technically frightened. Everyone notices in the carriage that Macross, has just gone completely stone silent, like stone still, and it's just kind of shaking and gripping his like hammer or his sword to try and stop the shakes.
What's the matter, dear boy? Feeling horsey?
No,
I
just
think he might be carriage sick. I've seen people get carriage sick. He might throw up on our shoes.
Not me. I'm well attuned to the motions and the swayings of the world.
just get road sick. Let's go.
Alright, so you guys are heading to Shiredale, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, so Shiredale is a quick journey, like maybe 20 minutes. And when you run down, as you rush down towards the common docks and around the side towards the Bay of Spears, exactly where you have pointed, the slave nods and goes, "You are here. Is she okay?" Points towards her off, passed out on the back seat.
Who asked that?
The slave.
Yeah, she's fine. Just a bit too much to drink.
Okay, it's just that I'm meant to report any suspicious behaviour to the Hound Guards.
Yeah, and then I'll. That might be too much. I'll stick him. I'll give him 5 gold pieces.
Holy shit! You gave him 5 gold pieces. Okay, the moment you put 5 gold pieces down, he goes, "Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Yeah,
very much."
you forget 1,000 things a day. Make sure that's we're one of them.
He looks down at the gold pieces, and Macro, as you step out warily staring at the horses, he steps off with the carriage as well and runs.
But shit, we've got a horse and carriage now, boys.
Grilda, you notice this and you go, "Oh no!" And you just see him run off to southwest towards the common docks, round some of the crates, and then begins talking to some of the sailors desperately, who then begin pushing him around a bit.
Was that a slight social faux pas then?
Maybe.
Yeah, I ask out of character.
A copper, maybe. It's well placed.
Slaves' wages are not paid in coin.
Yeah, probably should have thought about that. I should have asked that question before I give him the gold. Never mind. We don't need to worry about him reporting us at least anyway. But we seem to have a horse and carriage here.
When you
They're
look
just
back,
abandoned.
he's running off into the city.
All right, okay, so we'll just let him deal with it. Someone else's issues. All right then.
Well, that might come back to haunt us. Next time, do not be so hasty.
Yeah.
If there's word of someone paying slaves handsome wages, then
might attempt a little bit too handsomely.
Okay, guys.
I've got caught up in the moment. I really don't travel very well.
At that moment, Haroth begins to stir, and Omar puts her down on the ground, leans her against a rock jutting up out of the sand, and then begins to like whisper into her ear and kind of talks in low, soft tones. Pardon me. And then eventually she opens her eyes, looks across, and goes, "Of course, just do it. Just hand it to him. We can get out of here."
Right, okay then, fuckers. No more coitus.
Omar says, "Can one of you look after her, and then the rest of us go." Lantic says, "I'll look after her."
Alright then, we'll leave Lantix and Glenda, do you want to stay here as well? I'll look after our fine lady here.
Well, I was originally gonna shoot her with my bow and kill her, so I don't really fancy looking after her.
Look, I give up. I've surrendered. Please don't.
Yeah, don't.
Oh no, I'm way past killing you. They've already explained to me that I shouldn't do that.
Oh, what have I been hit by? And she holds her hands to her chest.
It was this arrow. I've taken it out again. I think it's good for 1-2 more uses.
Okay, I get the point. And then she puts her hands up to like instinctively brush her hands across her horns, and then goes, "Where are my rings?" And of course, you guys took them off of her last week as treasure.
Yeah, they're ours now.
Okay. I see I am in no position to bargain. And Omar says, "Wait here, my love. Grildar, Makra, follow me. Chester?"
I shall accompany you.
Alright. He leads you up the beachhead all the way towards where the Bay of Spears is. And just as a recap, the Bay of Spears are these huge, jutting, spear-like obsidian shards that protrude out of the water and travel onto the beach itself. And because of that, the water here is rough as it surges between the channels that these obsidian and shale spears that have been made. And this has been one of the city's main defences, where a navy could not approach by this beach. It just would not be able to land. And either side is protected by high cliffs. But the Bay of Spears has been a common ground for the people of Shydell to basically scavenge. Things wash up here. And as well as, also, it's a good place to catch basking sharks and food and fish. People normally do it, they, hike up their kilts or their tribal skirts and they just go in with spears. But as you approach, you do see there is a huge old brig jutting out of the sea. And it's only half of it, and it's all skeletal. And you see there are some children playing in the masts in the mizzenmast. The rigging is old and just drapes down, all rotten, but you can see that they're all swinging from it. And at that time, Makra, you notice one of your daughters is on the ship, and she's ordering some of the other little kids around, screaming at the top of her lungs like a captain. And you know which one it is.
Yeah, I think I can hazard a guess.
Yes,
I'll just pretend I don't see it. It's not an issue I need to be dealing with right now.
Yeah.
What is that ugly creature?
Oh god.
Just keep walking. Keep walking. Keep
All
walking.
right, so Omar leads you through the water, the shallows, and here the water's rough and kind of hits you on the sides, hits you left and right, but you're able to fight through. And eventually, you pass by the ship, and underneath the ship, there seems to be some sort of chain, like laying in the shallows, and he just grabs it. And he goes, "Come on, Macro, give me a hand."
Alright, and yeah, I'll, as long as he's holding on to it as well.
He is. Yeah, he is. And then,
I'll give it a tug.
and Grildar and Gwendef, you see... Grildar and Chester, sorry. You see Makra and Omar begin dragging something, maybe about 10 foot of chain, and sand begins to part as they drag up this small lockbox from the sand that had been buried there. Obviously when the tide was out. And now it's been quite hidden and protected, and it's a steel lockbox with this thick lock on the front. And he reaches down, brings his hand over it, and through legerdemain just kind of like unlocks it swiftly. And as it clicks open, he just passes it to you and goes, "You can have whatever you want. Can I go now?"
Is he handed it to me open?
Yeah, no, he's like kind of pushed it through the shallows.
Alright, okay.
Hold on while we check what's inside.
Okay.
We could have a flick through, but I don't think it'd be too big of an issue. Just get it bagged up, throw the lockbox back in the water.
Okay, so as you pick it up, there's the obviously tink of metal on metal and coins. Inside, it looks like it's filled with silver, mostly. Not gold. But there are some rings and stuff that you can obviously see they've pilfered and pickpocketed over the years. And for brevity's sake, it's 4,000 silver pieces in there. It's very heavy. And there's also on the top 5 rings worth 25 gold piece each, and 1 opal necklace worth 400 gold pieces.
Arnie, you all over that, mate?
Yep.
We're going to take off now.
Yeah, that's fine. We'll walk you back.
Okay.
We'll bag up all the shit and we'll meet back up with them.
If you, as a side note, I got that contraption on Harof's arm from Gwandia. You might want to visit him at some point. That guy's got a lot of stuff.
No, I've heard rumours.
Yeah.
Yeah, I owe a favour to meet him anyway, so I may as well make use of the meeting.
Look, he sees wary of you. Like he won't turn his back on you, and he's got his hands up. There's no way he can win. And he goes, "What about my friend Lushka? Where is she? Did they tell you what sentence she would get?"
Oh, she's dead. Yeah.
What? You just dropped that on poor Omar. He goes,
We eased her out of it. She had some good wine to see herself out with. But other than that, yeah.
We're not
she got
actually
cold feet.
sure whether that is the case or not, but that's what she seemed to expect.
Yeah.
We asked whether we could assist her somehow in alleviating her situation, and she said that she felt that this was not the case. So we did what we could in the situation, alleviated her suffering by giving her some good drink.
She got caught stealing from Dick Nose. She want to live him through that.
At least she had that before she went. He kind of looks down and then says, "Can I go now, please?"
Come on, we'll walk you back.
Okay, so you're walking back towards Haroth and Gwendef. As you are gone, Haroth just looks up at you and says, "So what do you get out of this other than treasure?"
Wait, we get treasure?
She stays quiet until the rest come back. So at that moment, Gwendef and Lantix, you see the rest of them are arriving, and Macrol's. Are you carrying the lockbox, Macrol?
Nah, I just got all the shit, jumped in my backpack, and then.
Alright, so he's dragging his backpack through the sand, leaving a nice channel.
Yeah.
And as he reaches you guys, Omar lifts her up, reaches into his satchel, and then passes her off something, who then drinks it immediately.
Alright, let's get you two on a ship. And we'll go and acquire them some passage. I want to watch them leave the city.
Okay, so what you do is you watch them walk down towards the common docks, where the slave was previously. They seem to be taken more seriously, and you walk up, and immediately Omar begins talking in a language, and he says, "The butcher needs to find an anvil. Mayhaps the white cap can find its way to the torturer." And the sailor says something just as equally curious back to him.
Yeah.
And then they nod at each other, and Omar just gets on his boat.
God, I fucking hate that chatter. I wish I'd learned to pick some of the shit up. Maybe one day. It seems like it'd be quite useful.
Mm-hmm.
Right, that seems like a job done there, though. Paid quite well from it. We've found the source of our gauntlet. Win-win. What do we reckon?
Well, you've got 2 days. Well, actually, a day and a half until Ascension Day, so it's up to you what you guys want to do now. Fill out the time. Lantix, I would say, because Rocket's not here, would immediately go, I'm going to go back to my workshop and play with this, as he turns the contraption up and round. Anything that you want to give to me, come visit me at the university. And he immediately gets in the carriage and goes, oh, yeah, of course.
No one's ride it.
Yeah, just hops out, waddles off up towards the Watcher to get another carriage.
Alright,
I can probably drive that for you.
That would be fantastic, Master Grildar.
What if someone reports it as stolen? It probably didn't belong to the person we gave the 5 gold pieces to.
Yeah, you can say that we found it abandoned. He's a noble,
My
mate.
plan was to take this back to the university and report it there. We have
Yeah.
no need for a carriage, and I certainly don't care to care for 2 horses that are not mine.
Yeah, fuck them off.
No, there's no need to talk like that, Macron.
Grilled horse meat sort of tastes like dragon.
Right
No need for that
then.
either.
Most things kind of taste like dragon.
Right, Chester. Gwendeth, any plans in the city?
Ah, I shall be signing headshots at the local inn before our upcoming games at the Hippodrome.
Fair dues. Probably should be training, but you know, you do you. Gwendeth?
No, Chester Decker does not train. Chester does not need training.
I was just gonna ask around if anyone had seen El Diablo.
Okay, so, right, downtime. Gwendeth, you're doing... Let's put that normally. You're going to be going around asking people if they've seen the dragon you are hunting, correct?
Yes, that is how Gwendeth's tracking works, because she can't actually track a dragon. See if she finds anyone who has seen a dragon.
Alright, so you know that Zashida Chernin has given Lantix a diary that has the last known location of El Diablo, also known as the Void Carver. But it was at a monolith that it turned out Lantix had license to plunder.
That is... Well, I'm not going there alone. That's insane.
Well, if you want to talk to Lantix in your downtime, that's fair enough.
No, I think since Rocket is not here, and this involves him, I'll just hang out at the Bastum's Blade and make friends with all the really nice people there.
Yeah. No. So you head to the Bastard's Blade, and that night, and it's as busy as it was the night before, filled with, you know, Bretonians, and most of them are kind of keeping to themselves with their hunched shoulders. But you see that Triton again, Vernie, and he goes, "Oh, Gwendeth," points towards you. Do you want to come sit with me?
Oh, are we playing that game again? I've got lots of money today. I can probably lose.
Oh, welcome to the table. And then you see Brucey sit down on the tiny stool and go, I got my A4 cards. And they all just look at him and go, no. Chew him off. He's like, God damn it. No one wants to play with me A4 cards as he wanders off.
How does that game work?
Well, are you talking to Brucey, the big Minotaur?
Yeah.
Yeah, he goes, oh, it's just, well, so what you got to do is, right, and he puts the big cards down. He goes, you see this? And you see a 2 of spires. And he goes, you see this? Oh, it's a 2 of, it's a 2 of diamonds. Snap! And you keep going like that. If it's the same picture or the same number, you snap and you get the cards.
What do I do once I have the cards?
You keep them, and if you get all the cards from me, then you win my pot of money.
What happens if I lose?
I get your pot of money.
I don't have a pot.
We could play with 1 silver.
Oh, that's fine. Yeah, I can lose the silver.
I like you. You're nice.
You're very nice too.
Thanks. Alright, and he just begins shuffling the cards awkwardly, and they're huge. They are literally massive. And he just goes, sorry about the size of the cards. My big Minotaur fingers can't pick up the small ones.
I think that's fine. Everyone's unique, and we should all watch out for that. And there's so many nice, unique people in this pub.
Yeah, I know. Ain't it just? Pirates from everywhere. Milady above, she's the one that deals with them. But I'm just the bruiser.
Are they all pirates? I didn't even notice. Is that why they have the eye patches?
Oh yeah, and you see Vernie behind you lean over the Triton, and he goes, he don't remember Vernie does actually have an eye patch. And he goes, yeah, we're not. I like to prefer Buccaneer.
All like as a name or as a title?
Both. No, wait, I'm Vernie.
When you get your pay, does it say Buccaneer or Pirate as your job description?
I have to line up, and the captain gives me the pay.
Who does the bookkeeping?
I believe that would be captain or the quartermaster. The captain, his name is George.
I'll have to ask him what he puts down as your job description. I feel like that's important.
I feel like you'd be welcome on board.
Oh, I've been on a lot of ships, but they usually get shot down by dragons and then people on them drown.
You hear Brucey go, she's playing with me. And Vernie goes, right, you are, Bruce. And Bruce goes, here you go, and just gives you half of the deck.
I take half of the deck.
And he goes, 1 silver? Yeah. Let's go.
I will subtract the silver because I have no doubt that Grandeth is going to lose.
Right, so what we'll do is, this will be a whole night affair. Remember, like last time, you need to roll a gaming tools proficiency, which is an intelligence. In fact, I feel like Snap is more dex, so we'll let you have dex.
I don't have gaming tools proficiency, so just
just
roll
a dex, yeah?
Just dex.
Alright, so you actually managed to beat Bruce most of the night, making a surplus of 82 silver.
82 silver. I will use that 82 silver to just pay for rounds in the pub.
Nice. Everyone loves you, Gwendif. And and as the night goes on, and the next day, is there anything you'd like to do on the last day before Ascension Day?
Well, I'm going to a deadly fight.
Yep, you
so
are.
I would like to just stare at my bow for a few hours in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
And then hit my head against the floor, praying to the stone.
Yep. I'll pray into the stone.
I think it's possible that Gwendeth might be coming on some excursions with me as well, if she's up for it.
Oh, well, if you pick me up at the pub, yeah. Otherwise, I'll just play with all my nice new friends. What honest, good people are in this pub.
Fantastic.
Scarcely believe it.
Alright, so after all of that, we'll go over to Chester. Chester, good sir, what are you doing for your downtime? Sniffling? Chester.
He went be right back.
Oh, did he? I can't see. Alright, we'll move
Yeah,
on to
he did
Macross.
say BRB. I thought he'd be back by now. No stress.
Macross, your turn.
Right then, I owe a certain Ralph Riptide a favour, and it's weird I would just mention George, because it seems like we're going to have to deal with him on a permanent basis, so maybe it is the fact that Gwendeth can go ask him what we put us down for the Titans fucking sales, oh, what the fuck am I looking for? Job title, that's the one.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll go and try and collar Ralph where I can on the docks.
Alright, so Ralph is on the common docks, as explained last time. He's sitting there, and as you approach, he goes, "Hello there, Macra. You haven't done what I've asked of you."
I'm a busy man, alright? And I'll start towering over him, quite imposing at this point. Right then, so don't deal with me through messengers from now on. Come find me. You know where I live.
Alright, well...
There's a lot of stuff that can get lost in context through Chinese whispers. George Wavecleaver, then. What am I doing with him?
You getting my payback.
And do you want to elaborate further?
He owed me. I was first over the
I couldn't
board.
give a fuck why he owes you anything.
I did
What
you.
want me to,
He stands
what
up
do you
this
want
time.
me to do with him?
I gave you the favour. You are meant to return it without question.
I'm not saying I'm not going to return the favour to you. I'm just saying I want to know exactly what you want me to do with him. Do you want me just to go up to him and ask him for the money? Do you want me to steal the money?
Get it
Do you
back.
want me to kill him and take the money?
Use your imagination, Makra, and he taps you on the forehead and goes, on whatever you've got in there.
I'm going to break. Right, so permanent base is gone then, yeah?
He goes, you owe me.
No shit. Right. I'm going. Where is he? Where can I find him?
You can find him at the Silver Wharf.
Right. Let's go play Gwenda for a little visit then.
Alright, so you're going to pay Gwendef. Okay, so somewhere on the last day, Gwendef, you were approached by Makra.
How are we?
I'm great.
Nice.
I met all these pirate buccaneers, and we played cards.
Yeah, good people. Well, I think we've got one of their friends that we want to go meet. Are you excited for the games?
You mean the fight to the death?
Yes, them.
About average. I had really good
okay.
breakfast today, so I was excited about that.
Nice. Good preparation. Well, do you want to do a little bit of training before we jump in?
Oh, sure.
All right, I'm cracking. We're gonna meet one of these fine gentlemen's friends, and we're gonna have a little conversation with him if that's quite all right.
I mean, that doesn't really train you to have a conversation with someone, but
Yeah, it might be a bit more of a. It's gonna be more on our stealth. That's what we're going to be working on, blending in. So we're gonna wait till night time. So I guess you can kick your feet up for a little bit longer. We'll have a few beers here.
Is this gonna be legal?
You're from the wilds.
Well, no, I'm
Laws of the strongest survive.
no.
He's a bad person.
I come from a dwarven. How bad?
Very bad.
I want to roll insight on that.
Sure, go ahead. And you can roll deception, Makra.
I want to point out Gwendeth is proficient in insight.
Oh, also, guys,
She does get a +1.
As a group, I wanted to mention you also get a point of inspiration for completing the quest as well.
Oh, sweet.
So those of you who've reached 3, that you're at your maximum.
Yeah, I've got 3 points of inspiration. I might be using a point of inspiration right this moment now, actually, to gain advantage on this. He's not necessarily lying about him being a bad person. I just don't actually know if he's a bad person. That's the main issue. So deception, yeah?
Yep. Wow, no. Gwendef, he seems to be telling the truth.
I mean, Gwendeth believes it. And she is very good at insight. She has a +1. So, sure.
Let's have another beer, and I'll buy another beer.
All right.
I want to keep it somewhat sober because I actually wanted to be somewhat stealthy later, but we'll whittle the time away till it's not quite dark, but it's hitting dusk. Probably better for stealthing on when it's dusk because you can still have the low hanging sun to hide in plain sight when you need to.
I mean, this is good because stealth is actually the only skill Gwyneth is proficient in and good at. So there you go.
Okay, so you guys wait until night, right?
You all right, mate?
You guys are waiting till the night, yeah?
Yeah, till dusk. I still want the sun in the sky, but I just want the sunset basically.
Okay, so do you mind if I move over to one of the other?
No, yeah, go for it.
All right, so Chester, are you back yet?
He did say he was.
Yes,
back.
I am. Sorry, I was
Okay,
muted.
so Chester, it's your downtime. What would you like to do with it for the next day and a half?
To the finest inns.
All right, so which inns? There's the Fresh Flask. That's a good famous one.
Yeah, the fresh flask. That sounds great.
All right, let me load it up so I know what's actually there. Okay. So as you walk in, the place is airy, wide, and tall. It has a very delicious aroma in the air, kind of like spices. And you realise this is a restaurant / tavern. It's a very upper class one. And you realise just for a second as well, you've been walking through Avbu Avenue, one of the nicest places in the city that you've come across. The proprietor is a female Triton behind the bar. She's a very tall, very muscular Triton wearing a breastplate with shoulder pads, and nothing underneath except for the surcoat underneath to keep the breastplate from rubbing. And as you walk towards her, you see that she's got like tattoos all up her arms, and she's got scars all across her face. And immediately, as you sit down, she says, "Can I help you?"
Yes, madame. I'm here for my signing.
Signing?
I believe I was booked here this evening to regale your patrons with stories and tales of my intrigue and woe.
Who are you?
Ah, madame, perhaps you've heard of me. I am Chester Decker.
I'm pretty sure Liam does it first. It doesn't even do it on purpose. He doesn't come out actually. Who are you? That's just what his NPCs say to people.
Yeah. She goes, "Oh yes, of course you're booked in tonight." She looks through the books and goes, "I must have forgotten," and begins signing you in. I did have someone else signed in, but
Who's that fair man?
And she leans down and goes, "Wants to remain anonymous, nameless for now. But you can take over."
Ah, fantastic. Are you sure? Perhaps we can share the spotlight. That was a joke.
Yes, of course. You play tonight. What do you play?
Ah, the finest of tunes. Perhaps you know some of them. I know Crocodile House Rock, and I know House of Cats Calling.
The House of Cats Calling. I know that one. That'll go well with all the people here.
Ah, fantastic. When shall I begin?
You can begin now if you want.
And I'll pull out my quill flute and sign the nearest piece of parchment.
It's the quill flute!
That's for you, madame.
Oh, thank you.
Gather round! Gather round! And as I say it, there'll be a small, gust of wind that blows my cape around me.
He goes, "Whoa, yeah, I know that spell prestidigitation, but nice try." She goes, "I wasn't born yesterday."
I was talking to you.
There's the stage.
And I shall take it.
Yeah, she points towards it, and as you walk towards it, it's a small stage, but it overlooks about 80 seats that are kind of in a very organised fashion. Much more upper class than what you're used to playing in, but you know, you do it well. And as the day goes on, people seem to flood in, and you are... Can you rob us performance, actually? Because you are gaining quite the crowd.
Allow me to tell you a tale of the time I defeated 6 werewolves with one arm tied behind my back and my left leg in a sling. Hang on. I call this the Ballad of Chester.
Wow. Nice.
Yeah, like any charisma roll is going to be beast mode.
So throughout the night and the evening, after telling all these tales, you earn a total of 22 silver.
That's delightful.
And eventually...
Can we just point out that Gwenda for playing fucking Snap?
Yeah. Also, can you make me a perception check for while you're telling your tales?
Yep. This is less important.
At one point, you swear you see the glimmer of golden hair, and you hear the slight harp of something like playing in the distance, and then you snap out of it, knowing, no, he can't be here. Not at all. No way.
How strange.
You feel like you were being watched.
How? Ooh, deja vu for a moment there. Anyway, did I ever tell you the time I ripped open the dragon El Diablo's maw and climbed down and ripped out his heart?
The front line are like, no, tell us!
Ah, it was through his kneecaps. Tough they were.
Yes, and they'll begin. And then you hear something in the back of your head, back of your mind. We shall see each other tomorrow. And you don't really hear anything else other than that.
Ah, deja vu perhaps. Anyway, signed press shots for all. I'll scatter them across the auditorium.
Yep. Okay, so
Come tomorrow and cheer me on in the Hippodrome.
they're like, yeah, Chester. All right. Okay, so you definitely riled the crowd up.
Perfect. I can't believe that people are swallowing his bullcrap.
Well, that's what happens when you've got advantage on all deception checks and you've got fucking ridiculous deception.
This is
He's
insane.
getting away with it.
Right, so we're going to move over to Grildar. Grildar, for the day and a half that you have spare, To be fair, you're not actually participating in the games, but I'm assuming you're going to go and watch.
Um,
You know, money. There can be money made by bets and stuff.
I'm more in it for the entertainment, I think.
Yeah.
So I will accompany Lantix to the library on the day that we're on, and make sure to return the carriage to its rightful owner if I can find them. Then I will spend some time, maybe like an hour or two, while Lennox goes over the basics of the contraption. Then eventually I'll get bored with the more advanced magical concepts that he talks about and leave. And I will just go and see how poor old Voice is doing and see if she has her her leg in working order again, and whether or not she'll be joining us at the games, because I'm sure the family will attend.
Yep. Okay. So as you get home, and that evening you settle down, spend some time with your family. Lasria does sit there and regale you of her readings and all of the novels and the stories she's been reading throughout the day. And then eventually she says, "So, I've read this novel, and it's about these kids who get abandoned on an island. Yeah, you paying attention, Grildar?
Yes, of course I am.
And they form some sort of society, like in two parts, and they end up eating each other. It was gross.
Yes, I think I remember that one. Something about flies, no?
No, it wasn't. It was called. No, it wasn't nothing to do with flies.
Oh, sorry.
Grilda, you think you know everything. Look, brother. You should read this one. She hands you a book.
I'll read the cover.
It's it's called The Tales of Chester Decker.
Amazing.
And you immediately sigh and have no clue how it got here.
I didn't even know there was an actual book. I thought he was making it up.
I think I've
Oh,
heard
there are
most
several volumes.
Well, the thing is, I've heard most of the stories that are written down in this book already.
Ah, fair enough. But,
It's an interesting piece of fiction, but I'm afraid that's all it is.
well, I say, but, didn't you say you had a friend called Chester Decker? That's why I picked the book up.
I do, yes, and my brain is filled quite enough with his tales without written word of his exploits
But
entering my brain as well.
The book makes him sound devilishly handsome. Like, kind of mysterious the way Elijah was.
What do I think of of Justice looks?
Well, Chester's actually a very attractive man. He's just very...
Is he or is he
arrogant
just
about it.
charismatic?
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Like, he does come off like he's quite a beautiful looking guy. He's just not... It's the way that he acts that you think puts people off.
Alright, so like Tom Cruise, yeah?
Oh my god.
Incredible.
Fair enough. Alright, so that evening you spent some time with her and the family.
Will you be attending the games?
Oh, of
Awesome.
course. You?
If you wish, we could entertain ourselves by watching Jester.
He sighs and goes, and Dad's got 12 tickets to the podium.
Very well.
We're
I'll
going to be
join.
sitting two rows below the God King's wives.
Not sure how that's relevant, but yes. I'll
Oh,
join
we're
you
so
there.
close to upper society. She's fanning herself with her hands. Oh. Literally in the God King's presence.
Yes.
Wow.
Very good.
She goes, stony faced much? And pushes you slightly away.
I'll just shrug and be like, you were always more excitable than I. You know this. Anyway, I'll bid you good evening. I have some other things to attend to.
Fair enough. Alright, so what are you up to on the last day then?
I want to try and see if I can find Macra, not knowing whether or not he's out at this point.
Okay, so we'll have to move over to Macra then if you're good.
Yep.
Okay, so Macra and Gwendef. That evening, as the sun begins to set, turning the colour of the sky to that of a darkening rose petal, you approach the Silver Wharf and find the ship that you were after, Wavecleave. And as you approach, you see there are a bunch of sailors on deck, but there is a huge half-orc sitting by the wheel, smoking a pipe.
I befriended a bunch of sailors. Are any of them here?
Yes, you notice Vernie is on deck.
I waved to him.
He looks over and goes, oh. And then just shouts, Gwendeth! Hello!
Hello, I'm here with a friend.
He looks over and goes, come on over!
This is my friend, Makra.
Yeah, not really the approach I wanted to take, but it might work. Alright, let's keep going.
This is a really great ship you have here.
Oh, thank you, but you can talk to my employer. And you see the half-orc goes, oh, name's George Wavecleaver.
George, how are we doing?
And
You look like a wave cleaver.
Ha ha! And who might ye be?
Macra. At your pleasure.
Wait a minute, I heard of ye. You're the the sheriff of Diadem.
Seems more a title that's been bestowed upon me more than necessarily wanted, but
You
yeah.
must be Gwendeth, my friend's here, close friend. Says you bought the drinks for the most of the lads.
I was really lucky at winning these card games. I've never won at card games before.
Oh, okay. What can I do for you?
What are we here for, Makra?
How the fuck do I play this? God fucking damn it!
Behind him, by the way, you see a half-elf mage walk up the companionway, and then she kind of leans over larboard rail, and then just turns to see you, like, face you all. She's wearing blue robes, and you can see she's got bright, like, kind of platinum hair. She's just eyeing you all suspiciously. And then you see a very large bugbear with a huge greatsword on his back climb down from the rigging, from the mizzen mast, and begin standing near the stern deck, watching you. And you notice that the place is actually brimming with sailors and pirates ready to defend their captain.
Yeah.
George himself doesn't look like he's a pushover. You know, these huge muscled arms. He may not have a weapon, but he has this weird tube-like a contraption on his waist, and it looks very similar to what you've seen some other pirates hold. And it makes the sound of thunder and shoots of stone at people.
Yeah. We were looking at possible employment. We're in town until the end of the games, but then me and my companion seem like we've dried up from a little bit of work. So I was wondering if we could earn a nice, honest wage.
Oh, is that so? You want to become a member of the crew?
Yeah, quite possibly. I think you could probably make use of all of our little party that we've managed to acquire all of a sudden.
Alright, can you roll deception? This is obviously...
I'm gonna roll insight on that as well, because Brendan has already forgotten what we're actually here for.
Fair enough.
Grandeth believes every word you're saying and is actually really excited to hire on a boat.
Oh, well, the captain looks at you and goes, "You're Makrar, I'm a fair man. I can tell that you're shaking slightly and you're lying your fucking hairy pants off.
He was?
What are you really after?"
Right, I guess I'll put it as it is, and I've got a as one as I am to not like to divulge my sources. I've got a Ralph Riptide. Feels like he's owed something.
Ralph, say.
Yeah.
What a fucking bastard, sending people over to collect his pay. Because he know I'd chop his fucking balls off.
I guess that's more of an in-between then. I guess if you chop my bollocks off, it's not too much on him.
It is
Yeah.
indeed
Harry.
true that I do indeed owe him 200 shiny gold pieces.
Any particular reason why you've not paid the man?
I wanted him to face me before I gave the more money to him. Or perhaps talk to him. The man is a cheat. He's an earnest sailor and an honest man when it comes to pirating, if you know what I mean. Yarr. But he slept with my girlfriend.
Oh.
That's why he sent you along.
No, yeah, I can understand why I didn't want fish, to be fair. That makes sense. Well, give me 50 gold of it now then. And
Well,
then
you
I'll
take it
convince him you
He's giving you all the
I'll-
gold. Stop negotiating.
Yeah, Macrar, you can take the gold to him and tell him he can face me man to man before he gets on my ship again.
Alright, okay. No, that's fine then. Yeah. I
I
thought
know.
I was just gonna arrange for him to come on and then you knock shit out of him and then fair's fair. But yeah, I'll give him all the gold now.
I
That's
don't
fine.
want to kill the man. I probably
I
want to
didn't say
beat the
kill.
living shit out of him.
Yeah, no, that's what I thought. He kind of deserves that, but then he also deserves his 200 gold. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, he was first on board, took a bullet for the ship.
I think the fair thing would be to kill both of them then, because it kind of feels like you're just attributing the whole thing to him.
She's a promiscuous woman, and I don't believe it was entirely Ralph's fault. But then again, it's both of their faults.
Yeah, he does need a kicking.
It does seem really hard to just kill him for it, though.
I'm not gonna kill him. I want to beat the living shit out of him, Gwenda.
Won't be as satisfying, but I think you might struggle getting him on your ship if he's anticipating a kicking. I'll give him the kicking, and then you're all fair.
Right, and he reaches into his pocket and throws you a heavy gold purse.
Good man. We'll go and find Ralph.
And here's this for your troubles.
He hands you, he takes something off of his thumb, hands it to you. It's a platinum ring worth 20 gold pieces. He says,
That's for kicking the shit out of Ralph.
Good man.
okay, so I'm
Right.
assuming you head straight back to the common docks and beat the shit out of him?
I think Gwendolyn's is just staying here.
Okay.
Yeah, if Gwenda wants to have a chat at platinum ring, what's that worth?
20 gold pieces.
20 GP. And then the sack he threw me, those at the 200 gold to give to Ralph. So I'll go and walk up to Ralph. With the sack.
Yeah. He goes,
uh,
as you approach, he's like, he perks up. You see his little half elf ears bouncing slightly as he anticipates the treasure. He looks and he goes, "Oh, it's done. Fine."
and I'll hold it just at arm's length, but then slightly out of reach of his arm.
Okay, he goes to grab it.
And then I'll grab his wrist, and then just not even much of an effort. Just like as soon as I grab his wrist, and then just throw him into my because I'm holding the sack like that. I'll just grab his hand and then throw his face just without really moving my arm much.
No, I mean, the guy's a level 2 rogue. I'm assuming you're going to beat the shit out of him, so I don't need
Yeah.
to...
I just wanted to role play just how cool Macraw is.
Yeah, that's nice.
In these bruiser situations.
And when it's done, you give him his gold pieces, I'm assuming.
Yeah, and then I'll give him the goal. I'll pretty much drop the goal as soon as I lay the first punch. And then once he's like good and delirious, I'll get the sack of gold. I'll put it in his backpack. I'll throw him over my shoulder, and then I'll go march him up the docks and throw him on the ship.
Nice. And the sailors just look down at him and they just shrug, leave him in the sacks.
Go earn some more money. I'll slap him on the face, and then I'll just give a wink to the captain and be on my way.
Alright, so that's Macra and Gwendef done.
Well, Gwendolyn is just chilling on the ship. She's gonna ask the captain to show her the book so she can see what he puts in there for the pirates, if it says pirate or buccaneer.
It says Buccaneers.
That makes sense in case the guards raid your ship. I get it.
Police, the popo.
Gwendef, he looks at you and goes, Gwendef, the people here in Mokhul don't rightly care that we're pirates. We bring them swaggity swoo, and they don't really.
Oh, that made sense because I was wondering, but everyone just kept telling me that they're pirates.
As long as we don't go killing people in the street, which we ain't gonna do, then it's fine.
That's very reassuring because I wasn't sure about being friends with you guys. If you had killed people in the streets,
We
that'd
kill
be...
people, yar.
I mean, do you do it in the streets?
No, on the
Well,
seas.
Well, everyone kills people.
You
on
ever
the
seen a man be keyholed?
I've seen a man get bitten in half by a dragon.
But a keyholed. Have you seen
You
a
mean-
man be keyholed?
No, we generally don't do that. We just kill dragons.
I love my Grandish moral compass. If they die on land, no. Everyone dies at sea.
I would like you to go over with me how much a boat and a crew costs so I can hunt a dragon with that boat and the crew.
Alright, he begins going over it with you for that evening. giving you detailing all of the stuff around the ship, and he doesn't mind doing it. Pleasant company.
I'm gonna befriend every seedy bastard in this fucking city.
Alright, we're gonna move over to Grildar. So Grildar, that night you wanted to find Macra, yeah? So you would have found him at home, I'm assuming.
Yeah, I'd
Yes.
have been back home after that.
And I just want to see how he's doing and how the home situation is.
Right, so as you knock on the door, a little kid answers, a little bugbear. She's got a little pink bow and the tuft of her hair at the top. She just looks up at you and goes, I'm nearly as tall as you.
Yeah, sure,
And she goes, you must be Grildar.
that I am.
She looks behind and you can hear like havoc behind you, food being prepared. She kind of closes the door and she goes, did you see the spider?
Which spider?
Spider.
Spider! I told Daddy not to go there, it would kill him.
No.
And I think it's nice that you let the guy with the ball for her hair go.
Okay.
Psst. Psst.
Yes.
If I were you... And then she leans really close to you, Grildar. Really close. She says, I would put money on Neferet the Fast.
You mean for the games?
Yeah, for the races.
All right.
Neferet,
Why is
remember that? The half-elf, the pretty one.
How come? Why do you think you'll win?
I dreamt it. And then she just whistles and opens the door for you, revealing the kitchen table with another tiny bugbear, arms folded, ready, waiting for dinner. And another bugbear, a tall female, kind of like wiry and lean, walking around with a tap, tap, tap of her cane. And in the background, you see Macra preparing some parts of the food, at the like rushing, all kind of clumsy like.
Evening, McGrath. And I'll see if it's an okay situation for me to go in and help.
If you want. And as you go in, the female adult bugbear goes, finally, someone helps. And just kind of like glares at Macra.
Cheeky, am I literally not helping?
He brings in the gold, but he doesn't do the dishes, that's for sure.
To each
I can't
their
get-
own parts in family life. This is well understood.
Dishwater do awful, awful things to these pretty, pretty hands. How are we, Grildor?
Oh, well, thanks. I just had some spare time and, well, knowing your situation, I figured you might benefit from some help.
Cracking. Food? Yeah?
Yes, however, you should probably, and I'll explain to him how to cook, because I have actually got proficiency with cook's utensils.
Nice. So they have a really delicious cooked meal for that evening. And at that moment, the kids like you immediately. Like the one that was really Fixu, who was really kind of like moody, now seems to really like you and says, "Thank you, Master Dwarf. That was delicious."
Welcome. I'll try and teach him how to do some of this so that...
Ha! She laughs and says, "Yeah, try getting that in his thick skull." And she wanders off to her room. You see the other one with a bow and her hair's just drawing.
Whilst not looking down at the paper, just staring intently.
And when she passes it to you, Grildar, and goes, "Look, it's Daddy." You gotta see an
Is
image
it?
of a man, right, high in the air with an axe held behind his head, like a stick figure, and you see flames roaring around, and it looks like Macra's on the ground, holding his hand up, going, basically going, "No!"
Did you dream this as well?
No.
Okay. And as I'm just sitting there, I'm trying to see this. Is there anything in poor repair? I don't know what the state of McGrath's house is.
It's okay.
I like poor. Like, is everything shoddy and broken, or are
It's
you?
not shoddy and broken, but it's pretty Spartan, pretty bare bone.
Okay.
Yeah, I try to picture it more as just like only the bare essentials there, really. There's not enough stuff there to be broken. I think that's the issue.
Okay, so you spend the night with Macra.
Yeah, and I'll, if needed, I'll help. I'll suggest to him that I can make him some furniture over the next few days, because I'm not going to be doing much except for watching the games.
Mhm.
And I also have proficiency in carpenter's tools.
Alright, cracking.
And have mending, so in case anything was broken in his house, I'll just go around fixing it.
Just making furniture for the kids.
Oh
Yeah.
my god, his sister loves you. She don't care that you're a dwarf and she's a bugbear. As far as she's concerned, now you're a perfect suitor.
Doesn't matter when you're lying down.
Oh, fuck's sake.
And he used to hairy little dwarven women.
Oh my god.
Just scale it up and scale everything up. The
Just
height,
stop.
the hair.
Just stop, Curtis. Just stop.
Well, yeah, that'll be it, and then I'll do some jobs around his house if need, because I don't really have any jobs to do around my house. So
Yep, okay, so is it okay for us to go over to Ascension Day?
Yeah.
as far as I'm
Okay, so, friends, allies, Ascension Day comes, and with it comes the sound of music in the distance. Early in the morning, the trumpets blare, and that is the sign that Ascension Day has begun. The noise filters down to wherever you are staying. Doesn't matter where you are, Ascension Day reaches every nook and cranny of the city, from Avbu Avenue and the House of Cats, all the way over to the Tower of Law and Ensanu, or the House of Crafts. Even the people in Newtown hear it, as people begin playing music in the morning. Even the priests of Lake Fatu come out, gifting all of the poor with food, berries, and the odd bits of oddities. And everyone is in a joyous mood. And at exactly 7 a.m. in the morning, Gwendef, Macra, Chester, in the back of your minds, the sending spell goes off. And immediately it says, all contestants of the Hippodrome must arrive an hour before midday. And then it says at the end, Chester, which you're the only one who hear, Chester, you will need to arrive half an hour previous to attune to the braces. Arrive promptly, and you all guys have a couple of, the races begin at 9 a.m, which is an hour away if any of you want to attend and do any bets.
Yeah, I'll go watch up. Did Grildo invite us to the nice seats with his sister?
Nope.
God damn it! I'll probably take the kids up then, because I imagine everyone's off school and everything, aren't they?
Yep, it's.
I'll see if I can meet up with my. Well, I don't actually know it. I probably do have a name. I don't think I've got it jotted down. No, the lady who's the cleric.
Asisa.
How do I spell that?
You don't know the name of the cleric you're sleeping with?
No.
Classic.
Well, Macro probably does. I just don't.
Ah, fair enough. Asisa Kafal.
Do you want to spell that out for me?
Yes. A-Z-I-Z-A.
Oh, I thought you were just going to type it. Oh, I wasn't ready.
Sake, I will type it for you.
Come on, mate. I just want to copy paste this shit. It's easy. I thought I had jotted that down somewhere. Never mind. Right, it's easy.
Right. So as you guys all approach the Hippodrome, the Grand Obelisk floats higher today, propelled by some unknown magics beneath it. There is a base for the Grand Obelisk, which now serves as a massive picnic garden for all of the families out in force. You can smell, nearby the Sapphire Kraken, the seafood and the salt wafts over towards the Grand Obelisk. And rising high above you, the Grand Obelisk's edifice unfurl like a flower, revealing a glowing white crystal in the center, which sends out lasers of light across the city, a beacon to let everyone know of the God King's glory. In front of you, the Hippodrome has massive crowds filing in all of the entrances. This huge square-like arena rises up in 18 rows, which can house nearly 20,000 people all the way around. And Grildar, immediately, I'm assuming, departs from the group and heads straight towards the VIP access.
I will have been there for a couple of hours already.
Oh, fair enough. Yeah, so most of your family are there, except for your blacksmithy sister, who is always, and always will be, at work.
Yep, I'll probably arrive there first, since I have this now, in case you didn't realise.
Is this the equivalent to being at work on, Christmas Day, then?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is.
So I would have gotten the seats ready. I've gotten some food and snacks prepared for everyone for the day.
Yep.
And just prepared the best seats. Make sure that the seats that we are all are in the shade, and we don't have to sit and blister in the sun.
Yep. Yeah, perfect.
Yeah.
You've got the awnings.
In white.
You've got an awning, and that lovely, nice awning, and also a slave with a huge fern, just doing the classic fanning motion. And you have a grand view from the main entrance over the Hippodrome. You're only probably about 30 feet in the air, so you've got a really close view. Macra, however, it's going to going to cost you to buy some. Well, it's basically 1 silver piece for a seat in the common benches. But if you want to buy your daughters and your sisters some decent seating in the front row, it costs you 5 gold pieces.
I've not got that liquid cash, I don't think. I might actually. Yeah, platinum pieces. What, 10 gold pieces?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, so I'll just I'll break one of them in half, and get some decent seats. Now I'm back on work.
I would
Go ahead.
I would like to pay 5 gold pieces for some of my pirate friends to have the best seats to watch me.
So it's just Macra and Co, and then Gwendef and pirates.
And then all sorts of super indignified, like middle upper class. They're like, "What the fuck are you doing here? Get out of the sight, you peasant!"
What about Chester, sir? Where are you going? Are you heading in or like to the gladiatorial waiting area where you go to prepare, or are you going to watch the races?
How long have I got?
You've got easily an hour and a half, 2 hours before you have to be below, basically.
I will, as standard, set up a little stall outside the Hippodrome selling Chester merch.
Roll a deception check, sir.
There's my macro.
Does your macro work?
No, that was more of a Chester thing. Deception.
Roll deception to fool us into.
Oh,
my
no.
god!
Come on.
For the first time.
Lols. So that's a 10.
Are you currently editing my sheet, sir?
Yes, I'm quickly adding something. There you go. Done. Yep, okay, so no one is listening to you. They are too busy trying to get in the Hippodrome. You're going, Chester, aha, come on! And eventually, one person walks up to you. And he stares you in the eyes, Chester, sorry. And his glorious golden mane spills down his chest. And he says, I'll see you downstairs. He puts 1 gold piece on the table. Takes one of your mugshots.
I'll give him a sweeping bow.
He goes, you should never have left me.
Every now and then, a man must make it on his own. As you well know.
Walks downstairs through one of the gladiatorial entrances. And what you do see is, however, Chester, you see someone walk up to greet him. A huge man, massive, red shoulder pads, huge axe in one hand. And as they walk towards one another, he stops and he goes, "It fucking isn't you." And you see this half-elf, of course, your old master, walk up to Darioso and they embrace. Darioso says, "I'm sorry to hear about Ovni." And this half-elf nods. "That's okay. I was there in his final moments, it's fine." And they both walk into the shadows together. And then the portcullis goes behind them.
Must be him.
I did want to place a bet, by the way, on the person suggested by Macra's child. I'll put 5 gold pieces down.
I like how Macro's child told fucking
So you
the
go
dwarf
to
that come to tea and not fucking me.
So you go to one of the bookies and he says, you know Niferet is 2 to 1 odds, yeah?
That is fine.
Right, fair enough. How much?
5 gold pieces.
Cheers.
Actually, make it 10.
10, perfect. Take the 10 off of you. Can't interest you in another bet for a moon? He's an up and coming. Bets are 6 to 1.
No, but I would like to place a few other bets. Their names are Macra.
Ooh, that one. Oh yeah.
What are the odds, might I ask?
10 to 1.
Ooh.
1 gold piece.
Alright, can you... Shall we write this down?
Yes, I'll write that in a notepad for myself.
Right, thank you.
If you need it at the end of the session, just let me know. So, on
Neferet the Fast.
Macra's kids prediction. Yeah, I'm just going to call it Macra's kids prediction.
Right.
Prediction 2 to 1, you said?
Yep.
2 to 1, 10 GP. So, the way that you're doing the odds, if I win, I get 20, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it's 2-1, so you get...
Yeah, 2-1, double your money.
Yeah.
Well, you know, you'd get more than that, wouldn't you? You'd get 30 back. Because you get your original bet back as well.
You'd win 20, exactly.
Yeah, you win 20, but you get your 30
And
back,
then
yeah.
on McCraw himself, it's 10-1.
Yeah, and he said, can I interest you in
One GP.
this guy? And he holds up a mugshot, signed one.
Certainly, but I'm as much interested in what the odds are. I'll bet on it just for that.
He's 50-1.
50-1. Well, I'm not sure if I like those odds. I'll tell you that.
You know, this is for the whole succession, yeah? This is for winning all 3 rounds.
Yes, well, I think that
500-1 bet, that sounds like.
that's a tough ask, but sure, 1 GP there as well.
Right.
And then finally, there's Gwendeth is her name.
Yeah, that one. She's a bit unknown, you see. The mercenaries have given her 7-1. Mainly because she's good with a bow, and in the ring of fire, the bow comes in handy.
What the fuck got better odds on me?
Best odds fuckers.
Very well, 1 GP as well.
Alright. Cheers. And he takes the money off you. Ting, ting, ting.
Yeah, so I'll remove 13 GP.
Mm-hmm. Right. Okay, so are we going to watch the races?
Yeah.
Chester, would you like to lay any bets?
No, I'm quite well.
Okay, so you all take your seats and begin to watch. Are we all ready?
I am.
Do it. I'm expecting like a video package now as well.
So as the riders begin to line up, their chariots are gilded gold and decorated with all kinds of different affections. You see that Suit the Bloody, a fire genasi, has a ring of fire around her and a huge trailing red silk flag behind her. You see that Amun the halfling has a very bare bones chariot, very new to the business, but his horses are unicorns. Well, they're made to look like unicorns. They look very good. But Neferet the Fast has what looks like sleek, lean stallions. 4 of them, all frothing at the mouth and biting at one another. And she stands there with javelins on her shoulders, like ready to throw. She gives a cheer to the crowd and you hear, yeah, Neferet! Everyone's favourite. However, Jose, the Unblemished, a male half-orc, has a huge axe in his hand, and he has tons of throwing axes dug into the sides in the woods, and you see his is more like a tank with plate. And you're like, that's not going to go fast, but you know that this thing can get vicious. And just at that moment, they, you hear the whistle blown, and above you, beyond you, at the podium, behind Grildar, you guys see a red silk curtain part, and the God King takes his seat. Without the Methuselah this year, she's old and ill. He stands there in a glorious gold robe with red trim, with a studded leather jacket over the top, which trails down leather flaps that are studded with bolt iron rivets. He has a gold mask hiding his face with 4 faces, as usual, and his head is shaven bald and has the usual tanned look, hiding all of his face but his top of his skull. The face that he's wearing, the golden face mask, is that of a smiling jester. And funny enough, beside him to the right, he has a petite-looking girl in a jester's outfit. She has a kind of a red and green jacket with a hat with bells on the end, and she takes a seat in the usual place of the Methuselah. And as he sits, the crowd goes quiet and waits with anticipation as the God King sits. He stands, and with thaumaturgy in his voice, goes, "Let the races begin." And that's when you just hear "Ka!" as they all begin fighting to go forwards. All of them rushing forward, kicking up basically a whirlwind of sand as they rush forward. At first, you see that Jose the Unblemished, the tank of a man, is trapped kind of near the starting line. And then you just see this axe flash through the sand and hit the halfling in the back. And he kind of tumbles to the side, still racing round. And as they all crash, they have to force between these tiny lanes. And you see that the half-orc now, with spikes on his wheels, bashes straight into Suit the Bloody, who turns and then fires a firebolt at the half-orc, who's hit clean in the head. He kind of smashes against the side, and then you see in front of you, Neferet the Fast is in front. She turns, jumps up, both legs split, so she's holding on the balustrades. She draws a javelin from behind her, throws it, and it immediately hits one of the unicorns that Amun is riding, and it just topples. And at that moment, he goes over and he's just catapulted into the side of the wall, and you just see this blood smear as his bones crack and his body just smears along one side. They take the first turn, you see the half-orc is far behind, but now because he's far behind and he has to turn the corner, they're now parallel with him, Neferet and Suits, and they turn, and he turns around, hits what looks like a contraption, brings up some tubescent thing, and there's a massive explosion as he fires a cannonball at Suit the Bloody's chariot. It rushes across her deck and then hits the far wall, spilling up detritus and tons of brick in front of Gwendef, and Makra. And at that moment, as you see Shrapnel go towards the God King's podium, he brings his hand out and he just hits a transparent shield. They all fall down. And as they begin racing further, you see Suit the Bloody and Neferet are now head-to-head fighting, but Suit the Bloody brings out a fire whip, and you see that they begin fighting, but Neferet the Fast, the female half-elf with the javelins, leaps over onto his chariot, kicks him in the head, grabs him, and then throws him off into the sands. He rolls, only to be run over by Jose, the Unblemished, with his huge tank. And he's like, ah! And as he turns around, he reaches, brings something out of his pocket, and brings the scroll up. And as he puts his hand in it, he touches one of the horses. And suddenly he begins getting faster and faster and faster, riding up behind Neferet the Fast. She turns and has to leap back to her chariot. And as they take the last turn, she kind of like kicks back her chariot, unconnects it, and then stands on her horses as they run around the corner. And then the chariot comes back, crashes straight into the half-orc's tank of a chariot, and just sends him hurtling up into the air. He goes about 20 foot, and then he just hits, and you see his legs bend the wrong way as he hits the sand. Goes flying, hurtling, and the crowd goes fucking wild. Just as Neferet passes the finish line, just roars upwards, and you see that Neferet has won. She's still balancing eagerly on both of the horses as it does a second lap, which is what they were meant to do. Right, so that leaves Neferet the Fast as the winner, as predicted.
Was that legal?
Totally.
How many races are there?
There are 4 as the day go by.
All right. Well, after the first one, I'll excuse myself for a toilet break. I'll drop 2 platinum pieces into my sister's hand. I think you know where they need to be going.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll just stick a big meaty thumb into my chest.
All of you notice that the chariot riders all have health insurance and immediately cured. You see that Amun is revivified because he is literally paced like against one of the wall, and his front of his body, he has to have like lots of attention, and he even skips the second race. But in the end, Neferet the Fast earns the most points. She earns 9 for winning 3 matches, and the last one, funny enough, was won by the tank. And so whoever voted for Neferet wins. So Grildarm, note down that you won, as predicted.
I did.
Right, so we're on to the fights. So Makra and Gwendef and Chester. I'm assuming...
Can I go for a wee before we start? Can we go for a break?
Same.
Alright, we're going to quickly have a break.
Sound. I'm going to put my fucking
Boo, boo, boo.
Okay, guys, we're back. Short break. Everyone's ready to go. So, in the darkness below the Hippodrome, Chester, Makra, and Gwendeth, you are currently sat on a bench. And in front of you, a portcullis leads up a long, wide, spacious ramp towards the sands. You've roughly got 30 minutes till the first fight goes ahead, which is Chester. But Chester, previously, before this, when you arrived early, a servant, what looks like a mercenary from the Mercenaries Guild, approaches you with a pair of braces. And he says, put these on, please.
Right you are.
And as you put them on, he goes, sit down and attune.
Right you are. That's perhaps plus 10 defense. Who knows?
No, this will give you full control of, well, you'll see. And I'll whisper what they do. Alright, so in the distance, however, you do see that Darioso, so this is the first time Makra and Gwendeth has seen him. This henchman, shoulders broad, he has a short kind of crew cut, like short, completely bald at the sides, short on top. And he's sprayed like some sort of blood all over him, maybe like animal's blood to make it seem more intimidating. And he has a huge two-handed axe in his hand, and he's talking with Makra and Gwendeth, a very tall, lean, like I wouldn't say weak-looking, I'd say more kind of like that lean, muscular look, half-elf. And he has this long, platinum blonde hair, kind of sparkling eyes, and he's wearing what looks like a vest of gold slashed with red. And he has, like, sleeveless, and you see he's sweating. He's pale, and he's wearing these tight breeches that are laced up at the front, which do nothing to hide what's in his trousers. Like, they're just so tight. No. And he has a harp on his back, and he's wearing the same kind of braces that Chester is. And he's talking to Darioso, and Darioso's like, ha ha ha, you haven't grown! Not at all, you haven't even aged! And that's when the elf says, neither of you, look! Not a single grey hair. And he goes, well, let me tell you a secret. I found an apple. And that's when this elf goes, a golden one? And he goes, yeah, how did you know? He goes, I ate one myself. And then they go, oh, golden apple bros. And they both high five. Alright, let me whisper.
Apple bros.
I imagine Gwendeth is just standing there the whole time and she has these carnival nuts and she just is constantly eating them.
Yeah. So,
where do we go to get this health insurance then?
Alright, so there are some clerics of Anubis situated around in robes, and they sit there and they do approach you, and they all say, in like simultaneously, it's kind of eerie, they say, would you like to purchase health insurance?
Yeah, and I'll flick them over the 300 GP ruby. Like, that should cover the three of us and then change, yeah?
This will cover you.
Wow. Okay then. Is it 300 quid for health insurance? What's going on?
You see that there's maybe a human beneath this robe, and he says, listen carefully. 50 gold pieces for minor health. This includes spells to reach you to your highest point of performance after every battle. It is 500 gold pieces for the normal health insurance. That includes a revivify if you perchance snuff it.
500.
Yes. 300 gold pieces will pay for all three of your wound tending, but nothing else.
Alright, boys, better not die.
Dragon didn't kill me.
Am I there as well at this point, or am I somewhere else?
Yeah, you're there.
Ah, death. So quaint.
Did you die before, Chester?
Never. Never has a single scratch been lain upon my fine face.
That's when you guys hear the narrator shout, Chadnir and Chester.
Ah, boys, you're about to see what I am all about in combat.
Oh, I wish I could hear these lines being said.
So you stand up to the bottom of the ramp, Chester, and your former master stands next to you, and his hand kind of slightly brushes across yours as he tries to, like, you know, that gentle little pinky touch. And he just goes, "You should have never left me. I've come here to take you home."
Well, you know, it's been a while, isn't it? So I probably should pop back at some point.
Why did you leave?
Well, eventually a man's got to make a name for himself, hasn't he? I'm making leeway here and there.
Yeah, but I was going to teach you everything. I was ready. You were ready.
You know, sometimes you just got to do it by yourself. Perhaps one day, eh?
I love you.
We've talked about this, Chad. I was only there to learn, nothing more.
You bastard.
Perhaps we should settle this matter in the arena, yeah?
Perhaps we should, because what do you suggest?
Well, I'll draw the quill rapier.
He goes, well, if it's a dance fight you want, it's a dance fight you'll get. And he just begins to wander up towards the portcullis.
Wait, is the rapier also a quill? Is everything he
He's
has
got a quill rapier. Well, back to character.
So as he wanders up to the portcullis, he wanders out into the sunshine. You hear a cheer, and you see his arms go up as he throws his hands to the crowd. And as you walk up, sunlight blazes in, and he stands probably about 100 foot away from you. Chadnir does, and he stands there staring at you. And the crowd goes quiet as they begin singing. The narrator begins singing Chad's praises. Says, "An half-elf, originally from New Atlantia, a man of performance who wields Timora's own harp, a beauty in himself." And you see Chad do a bow and begin raising his hands up. Says, "He has been everywhere, from the Broken Realms to the Shattered Coasts, all the way over here to grace us with his presence. But what do we have here?" As he like, you hear his voice cascade down towards this Chester walking up. He goes, "Chester, apparently. Chester Decker. Hero, apparently. Slayer of Dragoons. Ender of the Isil Capula Werewolf. And of everywhere, apparently."
Oh, Lesra, there you go. This should be good.
She's like, "Oh, that's Chester. I cannot wait." And by the way, Chester, you begin to feel the power brimming in those gauntlets. And you can, like, as if you can control everything. And you see Chad taps them either side to make sure they're working. And he goes, "Right." And do you want to roll initiative?
Let's do this.
Who goes first?
I'm so excited about this macro. Chester has told me so much about his fighting. I can't wait to see it.
I can't wait for him to give me back that 100 gold.
Oh, hang on, let's go.
So I really hope he doesn't die.
Do I owe you 100 gold?
I just paid for your health
Oh, wow,
insurance.
shit, okay. Right, you go first. And you see Chad's knees begin fucking up and down. His hand begins moving. He's clicking his fingers. Go ahead.
Right, the first thing. Ting ting! We need a little music. And I will immediately launch into a strange illusion with several men facing off against each other with swords made of pure different coloured lights, which will move backwards and forwards in time to the music.
Oh.
And I shall start off my repertoire with the Feather Step Flop.
The Feather Step Flop. Okay, as you do, everyone's watching, and everyone in the crowd goes, "Oh! Oh!" as you dance around.
Take that, as if you could.
You see that Chad steps forward, shakes his hands out, and then brings his hands up. Confetti flies out of both sides. Boof, boof. And as he swings his hand around, you see what looks like a ton of dragonflies fly out, buzz towards you. And at that moment, he brings up like a catwalk, slides slightly up as illusionary high heels appear on his feet. He begins striding towards you, and then slaps you clean across the face, then backhands you one side, and then bursts back in an explosion of multicoloured rainbows, skids with a superhero landing, and says,
Beat that boy!
Ah, tink tink. I will manifest several strange, sleek, metallic-looking ships that out from the top pop some strange, sort of cylindrical white beings. On beat to the music again. And I will this time, I'll manifest my own large stage with two kind of red gossamer curtains. And I'll spin around on my head twice and then come back, fold my arms, and give a little pout to the crowd, just enough.
Okay, can you roll performance?
Can I just ask, what is the God King's response to this moment?
You can't tell, he's just wearing a gold mask.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, at that moment... Chad
Hang on,
goes-
well, I've just got roll performance,
he
and I...
just goes, begins to feign surprise. Oh my god,
Jeez!
The metal,
you critical!
dick.
He feigns surprise. The crowd is going wild. They're like, what the fuck? Chester's amazing! But then Chad begins to float. Angel wings pour out of his back. Multiple angel wings. And then he clicks his fingers, and as he does, beside him, multiple angels begin appearing, and he begins doing Backstreet Boys back as the whole boy band of angels jumps forward, legs out to the front, legs out to the right, and then they spin, point towards you, and then he goes, "It's baby time," and fires an illusionary gun towards you.
Oh no, that was my next move. I'll turn around, I'll dodge out of the way, and I'll go, "No, you haven't." And it's time for the crossbody leg, along with a little bit of floss.
Oh no! Chad goes, "No, don't you dare!" So you're just gonna be flossing on stage.
I'm gonna floss right towards him, and then pull out a small white glove and slap him daintily around the cheeks.
Ah! How dare you! And as he begins moonwalking back, around him begins an explosion of violet colours that reach out to the crowd, rise up, and he begins floating, stands in the air, and begins moonwalking over your head, around you, as if just floating around. And then he sits, and then drops, and just floats there like a guru in front of you, because you can't beat the Lord of the Dance.
I wonder what the limits are on these things. I'll dink them twice again, and this time I'll formulate a horde of small dancing gnomes, and together we'll do the Macarena, follow the leader.
Ah, okay. So he just looks around. And
Time to
watches
end
you.
this.
Time to end this. He goes, "It's not nearly over." And he stands this time, and as he clicks his fingers, he forms an illusion behind him of a dragonborn, and then another one to his right and left, and then to the right there, a gnome, and then to the far left, it looks like maybe an adventuring party, and then they begin copying Michael Jackson's Thriller perfectly, and the whole stage fills with this horror music. And as he begins going forward, he reaches forward, and behind you, you feel like the snap of teeth. You turn to see an illusion of what looks like a fanged mouth snapping towards you.
El Diablo himself, it appears. I can do one better. Have you ever heard of the Void Dragon Shaxisa? And I'll formulate an illusion of a giant, large black dragon if I can.
Yep.
And make it do the box step.
Oh my god. Okay. Can you make a performance check?
Yes, indeed.
Alright, let's see what you get.
Sorry, it's just coming up.
No problem. Right, okay, yeah. And...
Pretty good go.
Right, so immediately the crowd are cheering mostly for you, but then Chad kicks it up a notch. Immediately this massive illusion appears behind him of him, and he begins basically flailing his arms around, and they just merge into one long glow stick like blur. And the entire arena begins to flash in and out of colour, making Grildar probably turn away from it, where it's just flashing so brightly. And he seems to be teleporting around the arena, his hands just diving up around, spinning around, and eventually, there just seems to be a million of him in the dance floor, Chester. Just fucking tons. And then he just brings up the harp, and he says, "Ding, motherfucker!" And he presses one of the coloured strings on it. I have to roll a d10,000. Let's see what that is, eh?
You
Alright, so what are you doing in the meantime?
The closest battle, dance battle.
What are you doing in the meantime, Chester, as he plucks this...
I just love the way that Chris is going off in the chat. It's going off.
It's Chris's old character.
2 backflips, and on the second one I land, I'm going to get confetti to go everywhere. Absolutely everywhere. Over the crowd, over his face. I'm going to spray him good.
Yeah, okay, so once you do that, he goes, unfair, and then he pelvic thrusts towards you, and confetti explodes out his crotch into your face, and it's white confetti.
How dare you!
Right, let me just check what he rolled. Wow, what the hell? At that moment, as he plucks the string, the entire crowd, including Grildar, cannot help it, including Gwendeth, Macro, they all just begin standing and doing the same dance as him. And he begins doing the octopus, and the entire crowd is doing it.
Oh, come on now.
What a wild magic surge to get.
Supposed to fucking use the fucking braces, aren't we? Haha.
And he just stands there, and as everyone begins to sit down, and then he goes, boom, and the dance fight ends. Just as the power goes down in those braces. At that moment, both you and Chadnir turn to look up at the podium. The God King stands, and behind you, Grilda, you feel that oppressive weight. Like, he's only probably about 20 feet behind you, but higher on his own podium, and brings his hand out like this. Clenches the fist, then holds it to his face, and then the crowd goes wild, knowing it's a draw. You can tell probably the God King has no clue how to judge that, but at the moment, Chad looks at you, and then grabs your hand, Chester, and then lifts it up above both of your heads, and the crowd just cheers for you both.
And give a sweeping bow as well.
Nice.
And pull out some signed press shots and throw them to the crowd.
You mean like shuriken throwing them across the crowd, yeah?
Yeah, I should probably buy some more soon.
Alright, and as you leave, and stand by the portcullis, it goes down, and Dad looks at you and goes deep in the eyes and says, I know now, sorry that I chased you, T. I now know that you need to follow your own destiny. Probably learn everything you can from me.
Not everything. I shall return in time, haha.
Well, until then, I'll be back home in the City of Bridges.
Adieu. And by the way, if you pass my house, can you let the cat out? It's probably dead.
Oh no, it's not. I brought it with me.
Good man. Right. Thanks and that.
He leans in, goes, one last hug?
Oh, go on then.
And the moment you give him a hug, his hand reaches down and just kind of presses down against your cheeks and pushes you slightly in, and he goes, I
yeah, that's
that.
probably should have left sooner. Right, adieu. Is Makra and Gwendeth and Grodar around at all?
No, just Makra and Gwendeth and all the other gladiators who are now staring wide-eyed. You remember Achilles? Oh no, you were dead. Never mind.
Gentlemen, that is how you enter the arena.
I thought we were fighting to the death.
I paid a fucking 100 gold for your health insurance.
You got confetti into my nuts and then he spilled them.
Yes, well, perhaps you should have spoken to me before paying such heinous lengths, but I would wager that yours will be much more deadly than mine was.
I don't know what you're on about. I've paid for the gold now. You're in ours as well.
Well, either way, I'll be looking forward to you making such a splash.
Right, okay, so afterwards, it says the narrator shouts, Makra, you are up.
I'll, a little bit of flair, I guess. A little bit of gladiatorial setup, but mostly just all my weapons on me. How many javelins do I possess? I've got 10's plenty. I don't need to restock them. That's sound. Let's go. Let's do this thing.
Okay, so can you give yourself a long rest? Because Oaken is...
That work?
Oh, now you've got 0.
Oh.
Which is even less.
I don't think you've set your character up right. No, you haven't. Let. It goes in the heart. There you go.
Yeah, I put it in the heart as well. You know where it is because I put 45 minus 45 there. That's the
That
big.
does equate to 0 usually.
Yeah, that is the big brain move. That is the big brain move. There you are. Wait this time.
Right. Okay. So Macra,
Mm-hmm.
as you walk up to the palisade, and not palisade, the portcullis, and it begins in front of you. Immediately, your heavy footfalls hit the sand, and in front of you, you see what looks like the remains of fairy fire raining down around the arena. And as you stare across you don't see any of your opponents. And the narrator says suddenly, "Everyone, welcome Macra to the arena!" And you hear the crowd begin cheering you on. Now, the Mercenaries Guild did a little bit of research on this fellow before he came into the arena. And you'll all be glad to know that this bugbear here, and a big visual kind of illusion hand points down at you, says, well, is a veteran of the Fearbowen Rebellion. He's a hero. And all the crowd begin clapping and, cheering you on. Even some of the people around Grildar are cheering you on. You're kind of like a common man hero.
Yeah.
You survived the Fearbowen charge. And at that moment, the narrator says, the man was there at the end when Thibaut gave up their city to our glorious empire, gave up their rebellion, and surrendered like they should have. Another ragged cheer goes up. And Macra, in front of you, the portcullis opposite goes up. And you remember this round was called 6-on-1. And at that moment, you kind of, are you holding your bastard sword or your hammer?
Oh no, hammer for 6-on-1.
So you're holding the hammer, clenching it, ready for whatever's coming through that. And he says, so, why not celebrate Macra's victory by reenactment? And at the moment, 6 horses are led into the arena from the opposite sides. And as they're led into the opposite side by these slaves holding them, they look vicious. They look pissed off, these horses. And one of them even nips at one of the slaves and takes a chunk out of his shoulder and he runs off. And Macra, you stand there, immediately your hands begin to shake as you see these horses. And he goes, and I learned that this man's wife was crushed beneath the charge. So how's about he take revenge on the horses? Funny enough, these 6 horses were involved in the charge. They crushed him and his wife. He was the only one to survive, and the whole kind of crowd are just kind of awed by this. So how's about he takes vengeance this time round? And I need you to roll initiative, Macro.
Have I got a token to... Oh, I'm on the other side, that's why I was looking to the south, not to the east.
Chester, do you think we get to eat the horses afterwards?
Oh, that was a good roll.
Right, so Macra, one of the horses is let go, and he just begins arena music.
Fuck are these horses?
I love that you're just fighting horses. What the fuck is this? What the fuck is
they're
this
just
contest?
charging me down.
Okay, so before the start, actually, I need you to roll wisdom saving throw preemptively.
Ooh, good roll. The crowd cheering me on. I think.
Alright, so you fail. Immediately, as this horse begins charging towards you, you stop and you're stunned. In fear. You just stand there, completely stunned. And the rest of them charge forward.
The crowd cheering me on does fuck all, apparently.
Right, and then this one, you make a dexterity saving throw. Oh no, you automatically fail, don't you?
If I'm scared, frightened, yes.
Currently are, as this one moves in and goes to, hits you. I'm assuming
Christ.
18 is higher than your AC.
Yes, it is.
And charges straight over you and begins to turn, and you take 9 bludgeoning damage.
I'm not even fucking raging yet, you little bastards.
And this one does the same. And just at that moment, you manage to get bashed out of the way. It doesn't seem to be that one didn't seem to like hit anything vital or break any bones. But Macro, it's your turn. So you're now no longer stunned, but you are currently frightened. You can make a save at the end of your turn.
That's some fucking bullshit, right? I guess the fear boner. I mean, fear rage comes out. If I may as well be scared and angry rather than just scared. So bonus action. I'll match the size of these fucking nays. If you want to,
you will grow bigger, won't you?
If
and
you want
as you grow bigger, the entire crowd is like, "Whoa!" They didn't know you could do that.
I whispered you something, by the way. I don't know if you saw.
I did not. Oh yeah.
I'm gonna stand here and I'm gonna belt both of these two with my fucking big fuck off hair. Oh, can I move close to him if I'm frightened?
No.
No, so I guess I don't do that. I'll just hit this one that's next to me then. And with my Titan Maul, I need to take a rage off from that.
Okay.
Oh yeah, and I'll do it recklessly as well.
Alright, yeah, you should have mentioned that before the roll, but okay.
Yeah, my bad.
Doesn't matter. You swing forward, and as you hit the horse, you hit him clean in the chest, and blood sprays everywhere, and viscera and bones. I've got a map, and bones go everywhere, and the thing neighs, hits the ground, and begins twitching.
Grim. Yeah, take no pleasure in this. I'm hating every fucking minute of it. Let's get us over with.
Before we went into the arena, I told you none of you would enjoy it. Grildar even warns you. Okay, so which way are you going? You can't move unless it's away from him.
I'm just gonna stay fucking still.
Okay, can you make a wisdom saving throw?
Sure looked like Chester was enjoying it.
Nope. And at that moment, you drop your weapon.
Ace.
And they all run forward.
My god! What the fuck is this damage?
Yep, and immediately you are assaulted by all of them as they begin charging around you, trying to crush you. And the charge is just too much, Matt Christ, reminding you of that time that you laid there on the battlefield as the charge went over, as your wife's head was pummeled and crushed by these creatures. Do you take a total of 20 bludgeoning damage?
Damage,
Halved, of course.
yeah, halved. If it's 0.5, do we round down?
It's 5 and 4, yeah, so you take 9.
Yeah.
Alright. The other riding horses get their go. One goes to leave your range, by the way.
Oh shit, they've got an advantage on me.
Yeah, I know. I know they do. One moment, you could take more.
Yeah, roll that 11 and 9 again.
Alright, so you take a 7.
Yeah.
Extra 3, yeah.
Yeah.
And they begin to reel and reel around for a second, like, trample. So I need you to make an attack opportunity if you want.
Yeah, may as well. Take swings, one, try to get away. 12.
12 is a miss, I'm afraid.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's not. It's a hit.
Sound. That
so
one
you
dies.
just managed to crush it and knock it to the ground as it's trying to retreat.
Sweet.
Get some of the crowd.
Oh no, I can't because I dropped my weapon.
Oh yeah,
and
you can
it's
punch
still
it.
at the floor. Oh yeah, I guess I'll throw a punch. Let's see what the damage would be at least anyway.
1.
3, he's raging.
Oh, good point.
Yeah.
Nice. You
Also,
just,
it's 1 plus strength.
1 plus, so it'd be 1 plus strength, which is 5, so that'd be 6.
Did you just sucker punch a horse?
And then
Yeah, he sucker punches a horse for 8 damage. That's not bad.
yeah, for 8.
Right, okay. They all begin, like, going in for another, like, retreat, like, and then coming back. Right, okay, so Macro, your turn.
Frightened, I can't run towards him, can I? So I'll pick up my weapon,
Mm-hmm.
and I'll just ready an attack for when one comes in range. I guess I can't, and then let me see if I can get this, if I can hit in a line on my turn, or I can do it on a separate one. while raging, you can use your action to make a massive swing. No, yeah, so I can't do it as a. I can't withhold that action. I imagine. Yeah, so I'll only be able to attack one, but I'll withhold my action to do so.
And you realise the cruelty of the arena now, like how they use that information against you, Makra, to force entertainment. But are you holding an action? You run towards that, yeah?
Yeah, I'm just going to do it so like they can't charge at me as effectively. Like they can't just keep running over me and then circling around me.
Well played. All right, so their turn is literally just moving up towards you.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so because they have to use a dash action, they can't trample you. So it's your turn again, Macro.
Oh, that was silly of you, Nays.
You can make a wisdom saving throw, actually.
Oh, fuck me.
Did you not also have a ready action to hit them when they came range?
Yes, I did.
Go for that.
I like one of them.
Now go.
Oh no, make the wisdom saving throw first. Yeah, go on.
Yep, now do the ready action. Right,
20.
that hits the one that approached first, killing it. And it just slides across the sand, leaving a smear of blood, and it smacks into the side of the wall and hits the portcullis, spraying blood down towards Wendef and Chester. Alright. Macro, it's now your turn.
And then a 15-foot line. If it's a 15-foot line, I don't think I can hit 3 of them, can I? Just
No,
the
you
large
can't.
creatures.
Not unless you can, like, move. No, you couldn't.
Yeah, it's not happening. I'll just hit 2 of them, then I'll let these 2 to the south of me, then. I'll make an individual Roswave of them continuously.
I mean, I don't know how you want to roll, but this would be...
You're not helping him.
I mean, but this is a 15-foot line within his reach, which does... Or do you not have reach? No, you don't have reach, right?
No, yeah, I do have 5-foot reach. I'm a bugbear. I'm long
Yeah, right. So you could...
Alright, okay. I'll tackle 3 then.
Or like this.
No, you're not, because it technically wasn't used. You can... I would have let you do it if you figured it out yourself.
Alright. 21 and then 19. I mean, do you get disadvantage when you're frightened?
Yep.
And then I'm countering that, do that by attacking recklessly. Yeah, so a 21 and a 12. 12 misses, so 28 damage to the first one.
12 hits, I think, because a 12 hit before.
Yep.
No, I think 12 missed, isn't it?
No, it didn't. 12 hits.
Oh, does it? Oh, sound. Bye-bye, Mayonnaise. 2 to the south.
Yeah, the 2 to the south just turn to a smear as you,
Take the legs out.
Yep, as you take the legs out, and they just fall to the ground, and you just bring the hammer up and go for that final swing to make sure that they don't suffer. Prolonged suffering.
Fuck if they suffer or not.
Okay, so then the hooves come towards you. You take 8 bludgeoning damage. The first one. Does a 17 hit you? It does.
17 does.
Yeah, and then you take another 8.
So,
Sorry.
8 in total.
Can
Sound.
you make a wisdom saving throw as well, please?
Yep.
Okay.
13.
So immediately, as you begin to pick, smack, these horses are neighing around you. You can hear the thump of the hoofs, bruises appearing, bones being broken in your body. You just go, and freeze up.
So no attack of opportunities. Is it back my turn as well?
Yeah. And then immediately the hoofs begin coming in, and one strikes you for 9 bludgeoning damage.
Fuck's sake.
It is your turn.
I am getting pretty
You find
fucking
your
bad.
coverage again.
It's a good thing I had that fucking level up just, or I'd be bollocksed. Do I need to make another wisdom saving throw?
Technically, you should have been stunned again earlier, but I didn't. Not because you rolled a 9.
No, do I need to make one now?
Did you? No, you get. It's your turn. You make it the end
Alright,
of the round.
okay. And then I'll make a swing at these 2 in a line. 11, that's a miss. 22.
And it's not a miss.
No.
And they are not wearing plated armor or anything. So you get one in an uppercut and literally just knock its head clean off, and a skull goes skittering across the arena. And then you swing in an underswing and basically cleave through the other one, straight through his chest, through his heart, and parts of his organs all slop out as he neighs and tries to run away from you. And as you stand there covered in blood, fall to your knees, the crowd cheers for you, Macra. They just give out a ragged cheer, and the narrator goes, "And a second time, he survives the Theoboan rebellion!" And you see that the entire crowd go wild. At the front row, there's a line of ladies lift up their top for you and begin shaking side to side and throwing rose petals. One even throws what looks like a loincloth towards you.
Yeah, I don't think I'm paying much attention to that. Just more like just wide-eyed staring at the viscera around me.
Okay, so I'm going to say that Gwendeth and Vesta, you are directly behind, looking at your friend, just freaking out as the.
And as soon as the portcullis, I'll just like turn around as quick as I can, and then head down, dragging my hammer behind me.
And that is how you don't contend with the arena.
I think you should like get him some water while I fight to my death.
Ah, right you are.
And then the narrator says, as you are dragged out, and you see that the bunches of slaves come out with chains and hooks, ready to drag these all away. It says, kill us! And Gwendeth, you go, it's not you. And you see a paladin of Anubis climb up to go towards the arena. He is... why don't I just show you all? And as he begins walking up the gangway towards the portcullis, he turns, nods at you all. And are you guys watching?
Mm-hmm. I'm fucking recovering.
And from the opposite portcullis, you see the most revolting thing. 6 giant alchemically infused spiders come skittering out from the side portcullis. And Archelaus, give him his due, takes them out, but he takes one vital bite to the leg and he limps back down to the arena where one of the Anubis clerics walks over and he tells he's paid for insurance and he's cured, and he sits and he goes, "Fucker poisoned me," and then he kind of like lays down on the ground as he's tended to. Then you get a Yabi, what looks like a fighter. I've got her detailed here. She looks like she's got a khopesh and a shield. Looks like this. And she walks up onto the sands as 6 slaves are dragged out in chains and given shields and clubs. She makes short work of them, but Grildar, you recognise one of the... As she cuts him down and he lets out a scream, and basically pleads for mercy. It's the guy that Macro had given 5 gold pieces. And as he falls to the ground and she brings her khopesh round and cuts his throat, she literally is bathed in his blood. She turns to the crowd, bringing her hand up. They all cheer for her as the slaves die.
I hope that he bet against himself and made this bet for his family. That would be a good thing.
Wow.
Okay, and then it goes, Gwendeth!
Gwendeth just walks out, like a dwarven waddle.
Alright, so let's put your character down. And this is Gwendeth. And the narrator calls her out and says, "Not much information on this little dwarven lass, but she says she's from out of continent, wherever that is." So,
Gwendeth nods along like, yeah, I did say that. I am from out of continent.
and at that moment, a cage is wheeled in, Gwendeth. And there's like a massive silk cloth over the top of it, and you can hear some banging, and that's when the cage door is open and apes barrel out towards. Can you roll initiative?
Is this when we find out her greatest... She's got a favoured enemy, but now she's got like a least favoured enemy as well. It's all the ranger benefits, but just reversed against apes.
Oh fuck, that's apes.
Yeah.
It's a bunch of apes. Fuck me. Oh fuck. Oh Jesus. A lot of apes.
Indeed.
I really wish I had better initiative.
You're going to get fucking monkeyed.
I don't have rage, so this is.
Yeah, I was definitely dead without rage.
Right, so these apes begin barreling forward, making their way towards you.
Who are the monkeys?
What's that 50 hit points thing that's on the Twitch?
You shouldn't be looking. I don't. Okay, so it is Gwendeth's turn. You see they're barreling towards you. There's no 50 hit point thing. That's Gwendeth.
Not all of them moved. Did all of them move?
Yeah.
No, it's not their turn.
Oh. Well, this is the 22 one.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, good point. Thank you. It is your go now.
I shoot the 22 one. I designate him as my favorite enemy. I'm like, monkey, got this. And then I shoot him with a longbow.
Alright, so you bring the arrow back and fire towards him.
Ah.
That,
I mean,
that's a hit.
Oh, then I roll a Slayer's Prey.
Alright. Right, so the arrow sinks deep into his chest, and he kind of rolls in the sand, and then he stands up, like, rips the arrow out.
Okay, bad news. Minimum
You
damage.
monkeys
Does
might
not
have
kill.
written Barrow out. I guess they would be.
Well, Gwendeth moves back 25 feet.
Right, back to the portcullis.
Yeah.
Right, so as you back up, you hear the crowd go, boo!
I've got a bow. What else do you want me to do?
I end my turn.
Alright. Then the rest, of course, begin barreling toward. They're
Barrel
like proper
monkey.
charge in. Right, Gwendeth.
I want that other monkey make a.
Sorry.
The 22 one is in the back
Yeah,
again.
I know. I'm just.
I shoot the 22 one with my bow.
This is like going to be a chase in the end. Okay, that's a definite hit.
I don't. It's not going to be much of a chase with 25 foot of movement.
Yep. Okay, so the longbow arrow sinks into its shoulder. Is there anything else you can roll?
Yeah, Slayer's Prey. I was hoping it was dead fucking monkeys that fit, but...
No, and then this one, the arrow hits him in the forehead, knocking him down. Oh, what was that? It was like a wind tunnel.
And then I move 25 feet.
Alright.
Boo!
Yeah, they are screaming at you. Boo!
Boo!
I use a bow. Are they all stupid? What?
Ooh, monkey getting close.
Now, they are getting closer. You can see their snarling faces.
Is it eating like primates that can make you really ill?
I don't know.
Yeah, I think if you eat more, yeah, if you eat primates, it can make you ill. I don't know
Alright,
why.
so-
Something to do with the brains.
When
Gwendeth looks this monkey here straight in the eyes. And then she draws her bow as far back as she can.
Yeah.
Well, first I designate him as my Slayer's Prey.
Okay.
And then do it. Oh, fuck me.
Oh, that's not good.
Yeah.
Could have done with that.
Have you read my inspiration?
What is your inspiration rules?
In the inspiration, you could have spend it to get haste. You can spend it to make certain things. Like you can rally yourself for temporary hit points. You can.
The haste idea would have been nice
Yeah.
for me as well.
Yeah. You should have read them. You can spend a point of inspiration at the beginning of your turn to get haste just for that turn.
Oh, that is very useful. I'll do
I
that
need it on
next turn.
screen somewhere as well.
So you'll do that next round, I'm assuming.
Yeah, I'll...
Adrenaline.
I'm
bonus
in the
action.
corner right now, which is shit. I moved 25 feet here.
Alright,
And I end my turn.
alright. This one gets to you, sir. Barrels in, goes to punch you twice.
They punched twice, fuck me.
Yep. And one of them misses, and the other clocks you in the face.
Well, 9 damage.
We're gonna
I don't
watch.
think Gwendeth is gonna win against the apes.
Yeah, we're gonna watch a monkey get.
At that moment, the other 3 behind, pick up rocks, begin throwing them at you, and you begin to dodge out the way, because I'm assuming you've got more than 40.
I have 16 AC.
Yep, so this other one runs up and throws a rock too. No. Right, so Gwendeth, your turn.
I use my bonus action to cast Zephyr Strike.
Okay,
I use 1 inspiration point to get the effects of the haste action.
nice.
We're gonna spend all my inspiration here. With Zephyr Strike and haste, haste doubles movement, right?
Yep.
So I have 75 feet of movement.
This is
No,
what I
wait.
was waiting for.
Which I use to,
It does 8 force damage to the one in front of you, yeah?
well, once I attack it. First I skedaddle. And then I draw back and I shoot this one, because that's the closest one.
Okie dokie.
With advantage, so 14 for 21 damage.
That's a hit. And it kills it instantly. Just hits it clean in the head and drops it around.
And then I still have my second action without advantage, which I then use to shoot this monkey. We're just gonna do all Dragon Slayer, because otherwise I'll need like 3 shots to kill each. Ah, fuck.
And that one goes wide, and they watch it scatter and batter against the side wall.
Alright, my turn.
Alright. And they all run towards you. This one gets about here and throws a rock. No, the rock goes wide and hits the ally in front of him. Just like clunks him against the head and... Right, Gwendeth.
I mean, I have disadvantage right now, so... Well, I still have hit points, so I'm just gonna move 25 feet and provoke the attack of opportunity.
It misses.
And I shoot that one that just tried to hit me with a Dragon Slayer.
Nice. Oh, yeah, and it just barely it doesn't go down. It just hits him clean in the stomach, and it just falls, holding the arrow.
Morale check.
I didn't use my bonus action to make him Slayer's Prey, but I would like to have done that.
Okay.
But then I rolled Slayer's Prey. It's really hard to keep track of that.
Especially when they're dying in like one hit. So yeah, this one just goes straight through him, through the spine, drops him to the ground. Alright, anything else?
No, that's all I can do. Fucking monkeys, Jesus Christ.
And these two catch up.
Oh, that's a hit for 6. And for 7, fuck me. That's 13 damage.
Yep, and this one moves
You
here.
can't be looking pretty now. How much HP has he got?
Gwendeth,
Oh,
it's your turn.
Oh, 26. Fuck it, I'll spend another point of inspiration to get haste again.
Okay.
And, I Zephyr Strike again.
yes. Go on.
Now the crowd is like, yes!
The kiting tactics.
Yeah, he's like dashing. Well, for me in his head, she's like rolling, dashing, speeding around.
When Gwyneth uses Zephyr Strike, because she's a red-foot dwarf, her feet just turn completely red, and then the earth under her feet moves her backwards.
Oh, okay. That sounds good.
Then I'm gonna shoot this one with advantage.
Alright.
And that takes another additional 1 force damage.
Then it's dead. Goes straight through it and rips its insides out through the back of it.
And then this one just gets another one. Oh fuck,
And
that's a
goes
bad
wide.
one. Sharpshooter, fuck that feat, right?
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay. They charge, both of them. One moving here, the other moving there, like that.
Oh fuck these dudes.
It's your turn.
Pincer maneuver.
I know what, fuck it, Zephyr Strike. I'll have nothing for the next fight.
Wait, have you got an inspiration left to do that again?
No, it's bonus action. I don't need...
You look like you were running 75 feet.
Oh yeah, fuck yeah, I am. I'm not.
Say.
Last inspiration.
I'm gonna
point.
shoot
Bit
this
through all
monkey
three.
with advantage.
Okay.
Oh fuck, that's bad.
Yep. And it goes flying out of the way.
I end my turn.
And...
Please tell me it hits the God King.
Oh no! And they flank you again, and they're both like moving around carefully before they move in for the kill. It is now your go again, Gwendolyn.
Oh, these are some fucking stupid monkeys. I designate this one as my Slayer's Prey.
Yep.
I drop the bow,
Oh, okay.
and I pull out my first short sword and attack him.
The monkey picks up the bow.
Yep, that's a definite hit.
Yeah, that would be a
Cut
nice
across his
twist.
chest.
Come on.
Slayer's Prey.
The monkey has 1 level in
damage.
fighter and is proficient with bow.
And I end my turn.
Alright, now they begin pummeling you with their fist. So I'm assuming the 17 hit?
The 70 does it, yes.
Yeah, so
Fuck
you
me.
take 6 bludgeoning damage as one of them goes for a feint attack. Believe it or not, you dodge out the way, and the other one just poof, it hits you in your gut. You kind of double over. Wender?
Oh, I pull out the second short sword with my
With your action, yeah.
yeah, and then I short sword. Well, 10 doesn't hit. And then I short sword without damage modifier.
Yep, that's a hit.
That's for 2 and Slayer's Prey.
Nice, oh my god. You cut across its leg, and it just falls to the ground. Looks up at you. Anything else from you, sir?
Nope.
I don't think even this hard kill some monkeys, would you? When you've
Two
got a
heavy
sword.
fists go towards you guys. Towards you, Gwendif, sorry, and both miss, I'm assuming?
Yeah, they do.
It's your turn. They are
Well,
now just trying to beat the crap out of you. They're hitting, but they're not getting through your armor.
If the fucking monkey had just stopped hitting me, Gwyneth would have just spared him, but if he does it like this, fuck him.
No, they're not. They're going vicious. They want to rip you apart.
Five damage.
The first strike kills it, knocks it to the ground, and
Oh,
then
well,
you
then-
stab through the top of its head with a sickening thunk.
Then the second attack on the second monkey.
Right, that's a hit.
12. That's 3 damage.
Yep, okay, and you just cut across its chest, and it sees you've killed most of its friends, and it just goes into a rage.
Fucking monkeys,
Oh
Jesus.
no, sorry, take the first one, sorry. Oh yeah, it does roll twice to hit.
Oh, Jesus, it has... That's 13 damage?
13 damage, 1 punch across the face, and then it just brings you onto the ground and begins bashing you on top of the head.
This fucking monkey is gonna kill me.
I don't know how he does it already. You fucking tank it this quite well.
Yeah, because I have the tough feat, and I'm a dwarf to get additional 1 hit point per level. I used my last Zephyr Elf, might as well use the last inspiration. I'm not gonna get fucking killed by a fucking monkey. So I'm attacking 3 times with my short sword.
That's a hit?
No. Oh, fucked.
Oh, okay.
Slayer's Prey on the first one.
Okay, and also the Zephyr damage?
I didn't use Zephyr Strike.
Oh, I thought you said you did.
No, I used Inspiration. To get haste.
Oh, yes, of course. So you just like begin slamming your short swords, but the last one, he grabs it in his hand, yanks it free, and throws it to the side.
Fuck this monkey. Jesus Christ. I end my turn. I can't. I don't have anything.
And you get hit in the chest, and then it brings you down and bites you on your neck. Blood begins to spray everywhere, just as the portcullises begin to... And a load of guards begin running in. And from the side, Grildar, you see the monkeys beginning to try to beat Gwendef up on the ground. But the guards manage to shoo him. And at that moment, one of the clerics does come up and cast Spare the Dying.
Did you roll for the monkey to attack?
Yeah, I did it privately.
Okay.
Rolled a 22 and a 20, both with 7 damage each.
Fuck these monkeys, what?
I thought...
I like how that fucking bird got some fucking chain slaves with a fucking shield and clubs. We've got fucking 2 attack monkeys.
To be fair, they were all very similar. They had, like, every single...
Bastards.
Horses were actually more powerful, but...
Wow.
Gwendef, you wake up probably about 10 minutes later as you're administered... mandatory waiting area. Esther, Accra.
Yeah, I just ditched the thing and leave.
Sorry, dudes.
No, I mean... Grandis isn't gonna fight anymore after losing to some monkeys.
There was 6 of them.
That's how you don't do the arena. Haha. Perhaps you'll take some tips next time.
I pick up my empty nut bag and throw it at his face, and then I leave.
Gwendef turns on him. Top 10 anime betrayals.
Top 10 anime betrayals.
Not gonna lie, that probably felt like one of your arrows. Ha ha ha!
Oh my god. Oh no.
You'll be alright, Gwendef. Go away. Go take a chill.
We can't all be winners, can we, Macra?
Oh, I'm battering so hard.
Gwyneth hangs out with her pirates.
Yeah. Goes back and sits in the seats.
Alright, so as you sit in the seats, the next up is Ganymedes versus what looks like 6 tribal warriors that were captured from who obviously did up. Ganymedes is a hobgoblin like this. More like a Lord of the Rings orc, but he doesn't survive. Just like, kind of like Gwendef, these tribal warriors know how to fight. They gang up on him with their slings and clubs and manage to knock him to the ground before the guards come out. And they kind of shoo them off, but the tribal warriors manage to get a couple of boots in. It looks like Gwendef is dragged off with a trail of blood. Ganymedes. Next up, I see Darioso come out of the arena. And as he comes out from the portcullis, Darioso throws his axe to the crowd, and you see the 6 thugs look like bandits, kind of arrested criminals, come brought out in chains. Darioso looks like...
Don't you mean Dario So?
Not Darioso. Darioso. Okay. What happens is Darioso says to the crowd, if they fight honourably, mayhaps I'll show mercy. And the narrator then begins to speak about Dario. He says, all the way from the Million Islands comes Darioso, the Bretonian champion, pirate of the Blue Desert, guardian, the Bretonian ambassadors, champion of the arena. And you see him cheer, and the crowd gives a ragged cheer. And as the fight begins, Darioso makes short work of these thugs. Cuts one in half clean. And one of them, by the way, just doesn't bother fighting. He literally just kind of runs to the side of the arena, and see him trying to do damage to himself side with what looks like a club. Like, yeah, it's the background noise.
Is that a vacuum cleaner?
I think that might be odd.
I can't hear anyone.
Also, I was muted.
Okay.
That's definitely Curtis,
That
yeah.
was Curtis. Okay, Rude.
What happened? I couldn't hear anyone.
You've
Your
switched
microphone's
away.
on your webcam.
Oh.
Okay.
I fucking hate you, Discord.
Alright, can I continue?
Yeah, I guess.
Okay. So Darioso then, after finishing 5 of them, stalks towards his last prey. The guy in the corner, doing harm to himself with a club that he's obviously failing at. He then says, I told you if you fought honourably, I would show mercy. He puts one foot on the guy's chest, puts him on the ground, stabs the executioner's axe into the sand, punches the guy clean in the face to daze him slightly, and oddly enough, reaches down, and Grildar, from above, you're probably above, you're one that sees what he grabs, and he rips the man's manhood clean off with his fists, trailing it out, and blood goes everywhere as he kicks the guy. The guy begins to turn around and crawl away, and as he holds it up to the crowd cheer, and then he just throws it to the back of the head of the guy crawling away, and then he walks over with one stomps on the guy's skull, crushing him to the sand, gives his hands up, crowd cheers, and then he leaves. He walks down the portcullis, leaving you guys to your devices. And that's when the narrator says, well, that was certainly entertaining. And you hear the crowd cheer, and he says, be back in an hour for Monster Mash.
Well, this has been interesting so far.
Yeah, fucking it, you're enjoying Grildor.
I'm happily surprised at how they performed, don't you think?
Oh, I'm not there. I was making sassy
Yeah,
comments.
this was to my family.
Oh.
Yeah, okay, so yeah, your family go, sorry for your friend Gwendeth.
Well, she seemed to hold her own pretty well.
Did, and vicious apes and vicious horses. I would feel like horses would be Apes must have just got lucky.
I think also McGraw can take a fair amount of punishment. He's quite a hardy man.
Dwarves seem to take it.
Yes, I think it's more of a question of mentality as well. Like McGraw, he's quite happy just taking the punches, I think. Or the hooves in this case.
Go find her.
No.
The,
I warned them prior to entering the event what it would entail. They decided to enter. It is up to their own discretion whether or not they want to participate. No one forced them to.
1,000 gold.
That it is.
I feel like the odds are stacked against Ganymedes now. Arioso, did you...
As expected.
I'm afraid that Macro will have his genitals torn out.
That would be unfortunate. I hope he paid for his health insurance.
Lucky he's already got children, eh?
Yeah, so I'm sure that in due time, if he wins, then perhaps he can have regeneration cast on him, have it grow back.
She laughs. Oh, you do have a sense of humour.
At times.
Oh. Very bad. And behind you, your father is kind of like snoring in his seat. He didn't even see it. Right, so we'll go over to Gwendef. What are you?
Or she has just gotten more nuts.
And you joined the seats in the arena with your pirate friend.
Yep.
Okay, so the moment you join them, you're kind of looking battered. George Wavecleaver leans over, puts his arm around and goes, "Yo, don't feel bad, Gwendef. I mean, did you see what happened to Ganymedes?
Who?
The hobgoblin.
I don't know.
Handed to him more than you did. They kicked the living shit out of him. At least you put up a fanciful fight, that's for sure. Dashing
The problem
around the
is-
arena.
They're so small. How do you hit a monkey?
I know, right? Don't feel bad, though. Here.
If it was a dragon-sized monkey, you know.
Here, Gwendef, and he passes you a wineskin.
Oh, thank you. You're too kind.
And at that moment, you guys, Gwendef, from behind you, you can hear, Gwen! Gwen!
Ah!
Somewhere up in the crowd. Gwen!
I look around. Who is it?
You see Bruce Stefakis, the big minotaur, going, Gwen! Gwen! And he's like maybe 18 rows back, right at the back, and he's like, Gwen!
I wave at him.
Gwen! And then he narrows his gaze and goes, puts the thumbs up.
Like, all too good to me.
Yeah, and then he kind of like, you see him trying to push through, he goes, excuse me. As he gets to the bottom, he goes, that was fantastic.
I mean, I lost.
Yeah, well, I don't matter. A little bit bruised, but you know, what doesn't kill us makes us bigger.
I haven't gotten bigger yet.
You don't need to. I think you're perfect just the way you are. And he pats his hand. George goes, yo, who be this? Big old Minotaur lad. He goes, name's Bruce. He goes, come sit down with me, lads. And Bruce kind of situates himself in one seat. Just kind of likes to squeeze in, and he just looks at you. More about the stick. Hey.
Oh, that is fine. I got beaten by monkeys, so I smell like monkey.
Be honest, I probably am too. I'm scared of them.
Scared of that. Well, the problem is really, they're really small.
Yeah, but when I was a wee cow to the zoo, right, and I saw one ape eat another up, and they were really vicious.
I've never been to a zoo.
Well, it's a travelling zoo. Travels around the desert. It should be here at some point in the summer. Maybe
Oh,
I'll
it's
take
not
you.
summer.
Oh,
It's pretty hot here.
That's start of spring. Why we have Ascension Day.
Oh,
Yeah,
I'm not.
And because of the God King.
Oh yeah, no one really explained any of this to me.
Yeah, it's like the end. It marks the end of winter.
Ah, Adrian knows.
Yeah. And he says, "All right, shall we we staying around for Monster Mash, or are we gonna head out for a bit?
I kind of want to see if Makra gets through it. And I've got these nuts to throw at Chester, so...
Perfect. Now that you're out, guess what? Them two have to fight the creature without you.
Well, I feel really bad for Makra.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure it'll do fine, big lad like that.
Well, he did seem fine against the Horde. Wait, what's the creature?
Well, we don't know yet. I've heard rumours.
Better not be El Diablo.
No, but I heard they do have a dragon.
Well, no, I'm really sad that I lost to the monkeys.
Ah, well, I don't think your crew will be fighting. And then George Wavecleaver joins in and goes, "Yo, I believe they've got some sort of a charmer, you know, like a succubus."
Maybe he knows where my dragon is.
Charmer.
Yeah, if he got one.
Have to wait and see, won't we? Anyway, puts one arm around you. Will this cheer you up? You know, last night you were showing interest in the boom tube.
The ship, yes.
Oh, this, and he hands you a gun. A flintlock pistol.
The boom tube.
That does cheer me up.
And he hands you a bunch of pellets and some gunpowder, and he says, "How about I teach you how to shoot that lady?"
I do want to know how to shoot that. Can that shoot a dragon? If you
Maybe
shoot that at a dragon, will it
Maybe
kill
I'll
the
even
dragon?
let you shoot the 12-pounder. Fun.
I have no idea what that is, but that does sound
It's a
fun.
cannon!
Is it like a... Oh yeah, I get it.
The big one.
I do want to shoot that. At
That's
a
the
monkey.
spirit. Right, we'll get one.
We can, like, get a monkey?
Can we get the one that beat you up?
Or can we get... I feel really bad. He kind of won. He earned his victory, didn't he?
No one in the 6-on-1 gets their freedom.
Oh, that's... We should buy him and set him free, and then I shoot him.
Do whatever you please.
It wouldn't be fair if he was still in his cage.
Oh, what about... He goes, "I'm not too sure about chasing a monkey from the dark."
I was gonna... I'm very confident I can hit him. If there's not 6 other monkeys.
Alright, well, see how that goes. After the God King's speech and maybe the Sin Spire. You're attending the Sin Spire games, yeah?
What is that?
6 levels of debauchery, drinking. Those who reach the top are crowned Sin Spire champion.
And there's no fighting monkeys on any of those levels.
The first level is a game called Chamber Pot. You have to pot these little balls, cups, inside of a table.
I can do that.
You're a good aim. I believe you would be great at that.
I'm great at a lot of games. Except card games.
and the
And
problem
that
with-
one game where you put the pieces and you take someone's king or something. I'm really bad at that one.
I have no clue what that.
Neither did I.
Anyway,
I would like to ready a nut throw at Chester.
nice. So, Chester, what are you up to, sir?
I am currently, I guess, how long have we got? An hour, did you say?
Yeah.
Time to return to my adoring fans. And I'll go amongst the crowd.
Alright, so as you get on screen, you are getting a lot of attention now. I feel like people do know who you are, like for reals. And as you are walking by, people are asking for like signed blocks and stuff like that.
I'll whip out the quill flute.
Yep, and you're loving this, aren't you?
It's literally, I think it'll be my next book. Chester versus the Hippodrome.
And as you approach towards the podium, one of the Hound Guard approaches you. Says, "Chester,
Ah, good sir.
come on."
How may I be of assistance?
Up, and he opens the gate and leads you to the podium.
A fine upperclassman.
Grilda, you see Chester approaching as he walks up onto the podium, and all of your family are kind of like, and go to speak to you, speak to him, and they're like kind of crowding around. You can see the God King not 20 foot from the podium, unmoving.
I'll tip my hat respectfully.
Doesn't. The jester next to him looks at you and then just waits.
Ah, and I'll wave back. Perhaps she'll be in my next book.
Now that
And
you're
how are
closer-
you?
Now that you're closer, Edge, something I think about this jet range has small baghorn.
Ah, never in my years.
That she's. And as you turn to face the family, what did
Ah, it is always a pleasure. Perhaps I could interest you in these signed shots.
yeah, they are interested.
Lazria, I'll just move Lazria over. Click, there you
Lazarus
go.
like, "Oh, it's a pleasure to meet you. I am a woman of the arts myself. Fantastic. So,
Ah, perhaps we should collaborate sometime.
for sure. I'm kind of bent up because of this, and she points towards the
Ah,
leg.
soon, my lady, soon. I'm sure that Gildar will be able to arrange a meet at a time that is convenient to you when you are in good health.
You should come
And I
visit
am-
my house.
Currently in a rare conversation with with one of my other siblings, and I'm talking to Anrin,
Ah,
and she very much enjoys my conversation because I never normally listen to her. But currently, we're deep engaged in conversation, trying to avoid as much dealing with the circus show that's going on behind me between Lazria and Chester.
I shall most definitely visit your house, with your permission, of course.
Right. So Lazia's like, yes, we can get the dinner party going. It'll be fine, brother. We can get the family around. Chester's honorary member of the Empire here. Where did you say you were from, Chester?
Ah, Longinia, city of bridges, my lady.
Oh, the city of bridges. I hear it's a romantic city.
It is wonderful. I will take you there one day if I can.
I was about to suggest that perhaps you should go.
Lazia says, I would love to, but duties here, the theatre and all of that.
Ah, the call of the boards. I understand all too well, madame.
Yes, I'm sure you do. A man of fine arts as yourself. I've read your book, by the way. Well, one of them.
Ah, you did? Which one?
This one, The Tales of Chester Decker. How you defeated the werewolf of Isle Capula.
Ah, my first, and most likely best. I am honoured.
Yes, you must tell me who this wonderful elven lady is in here. The mysterious one. The siren of sorts.
Her. That would be, it's been a while since I've read it.
Could it be the Void Queen of Cutler? You never mentioned.
Ah, of course. Yes, my meeting with Cutler. We're firm friends, you know. We regularly exchange correspondence to this day.
I've never heard of her until I read your book.
Ah, she's a fine one. Strange friends, though. Strange friends.
What do you mean?
Well, I can't quite remember. She kept talking about an antlered half-god, and it really did quite confuse me. And a gibbering madman who I never did quite like.
Oh, okay, well, you must regale me over dinner, of course.
Ah, it's a most thrilling tale. I shall, of course. And perhaps Grildar can join us. We're firm friends, you know.
Yes, brother, you should join us.
And I'm pretending not to hear it, and I'm deep ingrained in conversation with Anrin about somewhat topical thing. This is about the philosophy of lycanthropy and whether or not it is just to cure people. And we're having a philosophical debate about this.
Ah, he's deep in conversation. Rare for him.
Anrin, the Iron Blood Brain. Yeah, okay. Yeah, she feels like she could easily cure lycanthropy. She says, like, in a lab, all she'd need is test subjects and she could easily formulate a cure and stuff like that.
Yes, I understand, sister, but do you not feel that perhaps they don't want to be cured? That they should have a say in the matter?
No, lycanthropy needs to be cured. It's a stain on civilization.
Really, it's unlike you to take such a harsh and unnuanced point of view. What brought this about?
Why are you interested? She's like immediately guarded. She never shares secrets with you. You've never been close with her.
Simply making conversation?
Hmm.
It's just unlike you. You're normally the one to bring reason to us and think on these matters.
Shrugs.
Something personal, perhaps, sister, that you're not willing to share? That is fine. There's no need to share it here.
Shrugs. She's gone quiet. She just looks around and goes, "Look, lycanthropy needs to be cured where it can. It's a disease. If you don't stop it, it'll infect everyone."
Yes, well, the same could be said about many things. Enjoying games like these, for example, might be considered a disease, would you not think?
No. This is simply entertainment. Quells the masses. Give them a little blood.
If you say so. To me, it seems everyone's quite whipped into a frenzy, and the side effects are quite severe. Either way, have it your way. And I'll walk off and hopefully leave Chester with Lazarus and try and find Macra.
Alright, so yeah, you head down to find Macra. So Macra, Grildo approaches you in the bottom of the gladiatory arena.
Yeah, I imagine I'm in the middle of a short rest. I don't want to use my health insurance up there. Then, how's the health insurance work? Do I get that for the full games of the 100?
No, afterwards, you are fully cured with cure wounds and healer's kits and things.
Right, yeah, so I don't want to use it then if I can. I just want, like, breathe
I think
that
it's
one
between
out.
every fight, right?
Yeah, it's between every fight.
Oh, I get one every fight. Oh, yeah, that's how then
Yeah.
I'll just use that. I was going to just use, I was just going to have, like, a short rest and use all my hit die so I could save it for later. But no, yeah, I'll take my my healings and stuff there.
Okay.
How are you doing, Macra? I noticed there was something unusual about you in that fight. You not normally strike me as someone who is fearful.
Yeah, not a big fan of horses. You were the fucking arsehole on the what would you even call it? The magically enhanced voice, anyway. Recalling my life story so pleasantly as he did it.
Well, that is an unfortunate story, and I'm afraid I have some more unfortunateness. Is that even a word? I don't know. There's something further I need to share with you about that night. Come here, cat. Stop making noise. I'll go. That's fine.
And what would that be?
So I managed to have a good look at the horses, and although somewhat favorable, thankfully these were not the horses I was riding that night, but I was there in that charge.
Oh shit!
Yeah, you just get a blank stare from him at the moment, and you just sit in silence for a little while.
I understand it's not something that you wish to hear, but I feel I should not delay in telling you. That would be duplicitous, and that is not the way that I behave. I'm sorry for what happened to your wife. I was simply following orders at the time. I was not aware that you would be in our path.
Oh shit!
You can tell just not really a lot's going in at this moment in time or anything like that. Just kind of just staring past you.
Mm-hmm.
As he's slowly getting healed up, you're not really getting much of a response in any shape or form, really.
Either way, I should also tell you that sometimes these things happen, and it is usually the people in the field, whether it's the receiving end or the giving end, that suffer one way or another. It was not a pleasant experience to trample our own and the hooves of our horses. But by the time I realized this what was happening, it was too late. I did take it up with our superiors, but they are not so receptive to this kind of input. It is one of the reasons I am no longer in the service.
Yeah, continue just silence. It was starting to squeeze the hilt of the hammer now, starting to just ring it slightly a little bit as his tongue finds his cheek. He's just trying to starts breathing heavily out of his nose as he just stares across the room, not really looking at you.
I understand your reaction, and I will leave you be for now. I believe we will talk once this is done.
And with that, you'll just get like a little bit of a nod.
Yeah, and I'll just get up and walk back to the stands.
Alright, so you walk back to the stands. Macro, is there anything you'd like to do while you're waiting for the monster mash to occur?
No, not much I can do. It's worrying me that I've only got 2 rages a day, and I've just used one in that first one. I don't think I'd have survived without it.
Perhaps I helped and gave you an extra one.
yeah, it's just restored that rage. Got just infinite rage now for the rest of the day. But other than that, no, I'm just thinking over these thoughts, and yeah, kind of in a blind rage at the moment, but not really.
Yeah,
I think that all that's stopping me blowing up in size.
yeah, you just found out that your new friend was one of the ones that crushed your friends in the front line. Maybe even you and your lovely wife.
Just ringing the health of the mall at the moment. Just squeezing it and twisting it at the moment. Try his best not blow up, and just counting down the seconds till he can let his frustrations out on something.
Alright, so before we end for tonight, Chester, is there anything you'd like to do up in the podium? You can see that you've got clear access to the wives of the God King, and also kind of like the God King himself. There are 2 Blood Knights beside him, but and the Jester. But other than that,
Jeez, I ain't gonna pass this up. Fuck it. See you guys when another character dies. I'll walk up to the 2 Blood Knights. Gentlemen.
they turn to face you. They're wearing silver masks that mimic the God King's golden mask of kind of a jester smile. And they turn towards you. Back off.
Ah, forgive a foreigner. I do not know your traditions. Pray tell, what takes it for an audience with His Eminence?
They turn. But they don't turn towards the God King. They turn towards the petite-looking jester woman. She nods and stands up with a cartwheel and a flourish. Balances along the back of the wives' seats. They kind of look up, irritated. And then she bounces in front of you. Hi.
Hello there, fair lady.
You're Chester.
That is correct. Chester Decker, hero of men.
She bites her lower lip. Hero, you say?
Yes. And who may I be speaking to so that I may be so polite?
And then she takes the moment to look up at you, and you see that she's blind. She's just got milky white eyes.
Ah.
The name's Hada.
Hada, a lovely name. You shall be one I do not forget soon. And pray tell, is His Eminence enjoying the games?
He turns to look at him. Chester, you've been up here for about 10 minutes in the podium. He hasn't moved. Like, even a single finger. He's just been staring straight forward. His Eminence is old. She looks back towards him, even though she's blind. She can't. She just seems to still look towards him, and then she looks towards the the blood guards and goes, "He's probably asleep behind that mask."
Ah, right you are. And what of yourself, my lady? Are you enjoying the fair?
Oh, it's fun. I can't rightly see what's going on, but the noise and the celebration, oh, it's fantastic.
Well, forgive me for being so bold, but it is an absolute pleasure.
No, wait. You say your name is Chester Decker?
Yes, my lady.
And where are you from?
Longinia, my lady, city of bridges, the actor's realm.
Oh, okay. Somehow you feel like she's piercing through your soul, like she's just reading you top to bottom. And you have a kind of shiver up your spine. And you can't tell. This woman in front of you could be 20, could be 40. She just looks young, very young for like what she is. She could, like I said, she could be anywhere between 20 and 40. She has no wrinkles, smooth skin, milky white eyes with these little stag horns that protrude from her forehead. It says, "Chester, don't be a stranger. Come a-calling."
An honour, of course I shall. It will be an honour.
Yeah, she backflips, lands on the seat edges, and then walks back like a cat towards her seat again.
Thank you, gentlemen. Bloody fucking hell, Jesus. That's a walk off.
And at that moment, Laslia says, "Look, there's a spare seat. Chester, come join us."
It will be my honor, my lady. I shall sit down.
Yes, as you sit down, she then tells you that one of her sisters wasn't able to come. So you are more than welcome.
A true shame, but it shall be my pleasure to dine and, of course, merriment with you.
Yes, Jendel is a bit of a non-celebration dwarf. Doesn't like to drink, just likes her work.
I know another one like that.
They both you both simultaneously look towards Grildar.
And pray tell, what's next, perhaps?
A monster mash.
Time for you to join in the fun, isn't it right, Chester?
Yes, you shall see some true swordsmanship this time, I fear. Not, though,
Best of luck.
how sad. From
Alright.
Gwen death.
Alright guys, so next week we continue doing the monster mash where the teams get divided up and they fight a monster of the arena's choice. But for now, we'll have to do that next week. It's getting late. By the way, Todd.
Yeah.
Kitten has says in the chat, Chester is the Gildry Lockhart type, isn't he?
Amazing. Who is Kitten?
That's Christina, the one who watched World's Largest Dungeon and Void Heart. Yes.
Amazing. She's picked up on it then. That's
Yes,
good.
definitely. So I knew that someone would eventually. Right,
Yeah.
so people, thank you for watching. Thank you for tuning in. We will be around the same time next week at 7 p.m. Bye.
Roughly.
Bye bye.
Yeah, roughly, if we don't get audio issues. Bye.